Welcome back, everyone, to the Anime Degens Podcast, episode 38. It's got Dan, you got Tyler, and we have a special guest today. The extraordinary anime titty doctor himself, Ash, is joining the podcast. We'll get to know him a little bit. We're going to bullshit a lot. And then finally, we're going to get into some tropes that we love and tropes that we love to hate. How you guys doing today?
Doing wonderful, bro. Kinda, roughly. Yeah. We'll go with that. What about you, Ash?
Are you
What's
sure
up,
you
bro?
haven't been drinking?
No,
That
this is just
sounds
me,
like
bro.
an incoherent response, but okay.
That's just Tyler in a nutshell, bud.
God damn, that's funny. I'm doing all right. I'm actually been looking at back and forth my other screen, checking on the scores and games right now. Making sure
Very
my
nice.
fantasy team's doing pretty well.
Yeah, I'm looking like I'm going to win a couple games this weekend, so that's always exciting.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
just
probably
need to keep this 80-point lead and I'll be Gucci. So
If you lose an 80-point lead, you're a king of choking, dude. Done.
well, the thing is like all my players has played, so and they've got like a couple decent ones still left, so
Well, coach up your team, get them
True.
going, and maybe it'll come through for you.
but then Justin Fields will just tattle on me in the post game interview.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
Jeez.
Well, awesome. Tyler, you want to get us started with a little bit of news we have this week?
Yeah, so apparently The Boy and the Heron, which is Miyazaki Ghibli the movie, the newest one or whatever, is coming out December 8th in North American theaters. I think I seen somewhere where it was actually coming out for early screenings in November, I believe, in maybe New York or something. I don't even know. So, but I guess it's nationwide December 8th. So it's pretty cool. But we finally get it.
I'm excited for that. I'm excited for his quote unquote not really last movie.
Yeah.
Because he's already working on another one that's Psychopath, but I'm excited for this one. I've heard really good things so far.
Yeah. What about you? Do you have any news, Ash?
I do have some news, but I actually do want to see that movie when it comes out because I feel that it's been a while since we have like theater releases of Miyazaki films.
Maybe.
Because we usually have like Ghibli Fest, and like Ghibli Fest like will play like a couple random movies, but it's rare when it's the newer ones coming out. Because even like the Witch on Pop?
The Wind Rises.
The Wind Rises. Okay.
Yeah,
Was that the last one? Was that the last one? But did it come out in theaters though?
It was 2013. I don't know.
Okay.
Has it really been that long since Miyazaki's released something?
Yeah, that was his supposedly last film.
Yeah, because his son has put out a couple. That's the thing, and those ones were more recent.
Yeah, and he talks shit about him. He's like, my son sucks at this, which is hilarious.
Yeah, I'm not surprised about that. God. Yeah. What's up? Sorry, go for it.
Oh, no, I was just going to say, I can't remember the last time I actually went to theaters to watch anime, so.
The Demon Slayer?
Maybe Mugen Train, possibly.
Yeah, Mugen Train, and then I also went to watch the Demon Slayer season 3
intro thing.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
The last two, and then the first one of the new one, Swordsmith Village, maybe? Entertainment. Was it entertainment?
No, it was the Swordsmith.
Oh, that's right, because you got to see Pink, whatever the name is.
The Love Hashira looks even better on the big screen. That's all I'll say about that.
Okay. Now, what's up, Ash?
It's all right. The last one I saw in theaters actually was the quintessential quintuplets movie. That was the last one I saw.
I really wanted to see that, but the thing is I watched it in Japanese. With no
I did too. I did. Oh, you watched it no sub. Oh, damn.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I watched it, Sailing on the Seas. You know what I mean, with no subs. So
damn, that's funny. Yeah, because
I already read the light novel thing or whatever, so I knew what was going to happen. So
yeah, same.
Tyler put a straw hat on and scoured the internet.
Yeah.
God damn it. You're right.
I had to see it, bro. Like I had to actually see it. I cried. So
Yeah,
didn't
because
even
like
know what they
I
were saying, but I cried.
God damn it. Yeah, because like I read the whole manga way before the series was done, and then me and my co-host Ace, we both got tickets to go watch this actual like movie since we're caught up with everything. So like we might as well see how it ends. It was great.
I wish I had like like a rom-com like buddy to go places like that with. So it would be
Right?
lovely.
I know, right? That'd be pretty great.
You got it, bro. What do you mean?
I do, yeah, my co-host, but yeah, I know, but still. Yeah.
I don't want to hear it.
I have my shonen anime buddy who's like, we'll randomly just meet at a movie theater in the middle. He lives in Boston, so it's like 40 minutes. So I'm like, you want to meet in the middle and go watch some anime? He's like, let's get some beers first. I'm like, hell yeah.
You talking about Krieger?
No, Krieger actually lives about 5 hours from me.
Oh, okay.
It's my buddy Beans.
Oh, okay.
Damn.
Beans. I got a buddy named Beans, but he lives in like Georgia or Alabama or something. I don't know.
Different Beans.
God damn it.
Well, Ash, I think before we went to the little sidebar, you said you had some news.
Yeah. So those of you that like rom-coms, because the moment we say that, My Dress Up Darling's manga actually just topped 10 million copies in circulation.
Okay.
So yeah, and that happened as of Friday from Aniplex revealing in Shinichi Fukuda's actual My Dress Up Darling. The manga has reached 10 million copies in circulation. Fukuda draws the illustration. There's an illustration for the 10 million in circulation as well. Like if anybody wants to go see it, I can probably post it online for these guys to check it out in their Discord. But it's actually fucking awesome.
I really hope they hurry up and bring back My Dress Up Darling anime. Like I've been waiting so long for it to come back. So
I mean, they did say there's supposed to be its second season. They just haven't announced when. That's the thing. Yeah, and I'm like, I'm also current with the manga as well, and the manga still feels it has a long ways to go to finish. And right now, I think they're like in chapter like in the 80s right now. I think they are right now.
It's just taking so long to adapt it, right? I feels like
it's not even that. It's like the I believe the chapters come out monthly.
Oh, it's a monthly. Okay.
Yeah, and it's only been around since like 20, I think 2021. I want to say.
Okay. Yeah.
I want because it's not a very old series either. So it's the fact that like that's how much they have. It makes sense if they're not pushing forward more seasons this quickly because if you end up doing that, you end up losing part of the actual story that's involved too. So taking the time on it should be a good idea though.
Dan has no idea what you just said for the last couple minutes because he's a shonen boy. So
I know.
Whoa. I just don't like the rom-com genre, dude. But
I totally there is a rom-com for everybody.
I totally get what he's saying though, because when anime gets ahead of the manga, it is atrocious.
Yeah.
And we will get to that, Ash. I hope you are prepared because we will get to that. We are gonna find Dan a damn rom-com, bro, that he likes, and we'll talk about it in a little bit.
Has not happened yet.
Yeah, we'll talk
Which ones have you watched?
So I made him watch Toradora and Rent a Girlfriend.
No, you don't give him Rent a Girlfriend. That one's like that will steer people away from it.
Oh yeah.
That one steers people away from it.
So let me tell you his guidelines. His guidelines is he wants no younger people. He wants adults, and he wants, I guess. What do you want, Dan? Tell me what you want.
You want adults? Okay. What else?
I don't like a bunch of high schoolers running around punching each other, even though they love the main character and all that crap. We'll get into that very later. And no, I think if it was like an office comedy, like you give me like The Office, but an anime, I'd be cool with it.
Okay.
But I don't like the whole high school thing. I'm old.
I am too, but some of them are still pretty entertaining.
I'm an old soul, and I'm married, and I just don't want to deal with that shit.
I really enjoy Rent a Girlfriend, but it's just what I always tell people: it's peak trash.
Mm-hmm.
It's trash, but it's funny to me. So,
well, we'll get in that to a little bit, but before we do, we're gonna talk to Ash a little bit about who he is, When did he get addicted to anime and his podcast? So to start, tell us a little bit about your podcast. What's the title? Your hosts? What do you guys talk about?
For show. So my podcast is called the Simping for Senpai podcast. It's a show with just me, my two co-hosts, Psychotics and Ace. All we do is mainly just talk about anime, talk about manga, stuff in the anime world, news, all that great stuff, and kind of why we enjoy watching the stuff that we actually like to watch. I think that's mostly the basis of the show. The other 40% of the actual show is just a bunch of rambling sometimes.
Sounds about right.
Because we get off on so many fucking tangents on my show. It is so funny that I just don't even put control on it. I just let it continue the entire time. We're very good friends with another podcast known as the Up Your Experience podcast, and it's a good friend of our show. His name is Blaze McBain, and his other co-host Bats. Dude, both of them, when they were on our show, when we were reviewing, I believe it was Double O Gundam. Ooh. No. Was it Double O Gundam or was it no? It was the
Birdie Wing.
No. Well, because that's right. It was Birdie Wing. It was Birdie Wing. Thank you. So they came on to actually review Birdie Wing with us, but we reviewed the entire series and not half of it. Just like how it came out. It's fucking weird, very weird. It's a very good show to watch, by the way. Go check it out. It's actually pretty cool. Anyways, they went off on a tangent talking about Gunpla. Because one of the characters in the show loves Gunpla, and just they went on a tangent of what's the different types of Gunplas that there are, usually how long it takes to do them, and the proper tools and the way to manage and maintain those things. I let that shit go off for 20-30 minutes, and then I finally had to cut it. I'm like, all right, guys, we need to review this. We need to continue reviewing the show. Damn, I said only an hour and a half. If we're about to go on about an hour and 20 just from the end of this portion, we haven't even started the review.
Dude, I totally feel that. Sometimes I feel like I have two fishing poles, and I'm just reeling Tyler and Bass in.
So it sounds like your podcast is kind of similar to Air. So
a lot of bullshit.
Well, I mean, Tyler's been on an episode. He can pretty much vouch for that because he was a part of the actual just nonstop shenanigans that was happening too with Psychotics.
Yeah. Me, I think we argued about Naruto for a little while. So
it was something in that lines. I know it was something about a shonen. I just don't remember which one specifically it was.
I'm pretty sure it was Naruto. I think it was about Sakura. Honestly.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's always it's always that starts shit in other shows that I've been a part of.
Sakura.
Don't know why.
I mean, I'm a big Naruto fan. I like Sakura a lot, but I can see she has a lot of faults, and it's not her fault. It's Kishimoto's. So
yeah, no, that's understandable.
Well, let's definitely not go down that tangent because I feel like we have 10 times at this point on this podcast to load.
True.
But speaking of your name, Ash, How'd you get that? It's so unique. I know you asked me the same thing when I was on your podcast, but literally Simping for Senpai. That's a wild name, right? It's unique.
So if you go back to listen to our very first, I want to say 4 episodes, we had a different name, and we've kept those episodes just because it's still part of our history. I would say not really, I wouldn't really say history because we're still not a highly viewed or highly listened to podcast, but we're top 20s in random countries, so you probably never even fucking think that they would listen to podcasts. but here's the funny part: my co-host Ace was actually the one that came up with that name, because we were thinking of just spitballing ideas of what to name a podcast, and it's the first thing I said is we kind of have to make it something where it kind of needs to reel them in with the name. It's either this is a stupid name. It's all right, let's see what the fuck they have. Because in my head, I think the exact opposite. When I think of something that's just dumb as hell, that has a stupid name, it would attract people. But some people think the opposite of that. It's like when they see a stupid name, they'll be like, I don't want to even touch that thing at all. Like a good example, actually, because a lot of people love this movie and regarding it for so damn long, but a lot of people that I've recommended this to don't want to watch it because the fucking title is what steers them away. And it's I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
Oh yeah, I love that. It's one of my top movies, honestly.
Yeah, that's also one of Ace's favorite movies too, but he always has that thing where people want to watch like anime and sometimes we don't want to give them like an enormous fucking series where it's like, "Oh, you need like 40 episodes and then it gets fucking intensely insane." It's like, "No, sometimes you can just give them like a movie and if they like the movie, we can start giving them shows slowly and gradually get them into like an anime." That one is a hard sell to give people because the moment they hear that, they assume it's a gory, bloody, messy, freaking type of show or movie. But I Want to Eat Your Pancreas is actually a very sad and depressing freaking movie to watch. It's such a good movie. But it's that type of thing, though.
I think I actually tried to get. I think I like floated the idea to Dan and Bass for us to like review it one time, and I think they had the same reaction. Did you not, Dan?
Yeah, I was like, so is this about somebody eating somebody's pancreas? Because that is that is fucking weird.
and that's the funny part because animes have the tendency to mislead a lot of things, especially if stuff gets mistranslated as well.
That's true.
I basically told them that it was basically like a just a saying. It's basically a saying that it's the whole base of the show though, kinda. So
I have not heard that saying, and I've been on this earth for a while now, so I gotta keep my ears open, I guess.
Maybe it's a Japanese thing. I don't know.
It's like okay, it's like this for instance. Like I like bringing stuff up. Like I always like bringing this specific title up. Like as in Hokai no Kyojin. I think that's the name of it. That's Attack on Titan's Japanese name. I think it is. I think that's the name. Hokai no Kyojin.
Yeah, Shikinji.
Oh. Shikinji no Kyojin, right?
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
Okay, so when that gets translated, it actually means the Wandering Giants.
Attack on Titan.
But when they translated it here, they called it Attack on Titan, but there is no fucking thing called Titan on there.
Okay.
If now they call it Attack of the Giants, I think that would have made a better sensing title.
Yeah, Attack on Titan, though, is way more fucking metal than The Wandering Giant. That sounds like some Disney movie.
Yeah, it does. And one of my favorite series, which is called Origaru, which is my teen romantic comedy snafu, that thing is also mistranslated as well. It's actually, was it my teen romance isn't as what I expected? I think that's what it is.
I think it's even longer than that, right?
Yeah, I think it is longer than that, but that's like shorthanding that thing.
Yeah.
Because it's
like an isekai title almost, but not an isekai. So
exactly, and that's essentially like how I would say the name of the show is kind of like that because it's like it's kind of mistranslated as it is like simping for senpai, but it's also the main reason why it's like it sounds stupid, and that's why you just grab people in. It's like okay, let's see what these guys simp about, blah blah blah. And it's true, we do simp about a lot of shit. But also it's the fact that like a lot of us have very different takes and views on stuff, and if you actually do pay attention to a lot of the stuff, you can tell like what all of our gauges or interests are. But it, regardless, the cohesion of that like makes the show what it is.
Awesome. So going off of that, if you had to pick like one episode, or that's tough because like nobody remembers episode numbers, but like a topic you guys have discussed, what's one that you would recommend to our listeners so they could check it out?
Okay. Do you want a trolley one, or do you want an actual like serious one that people should check out?
I feel like
or one of each.
I mean,
one of each.
Yeah.
Yeah, roll with it.
Okay, so we had an episode where we talked about it was what fucking episode was it? Shit. Okay, we had an episode where we talked about Netflix and Netflix jail and how like it kind of hindered the anime industry a little bit. That one was our episode 10, I believe it was. I do want people to go check that one out because that actually wasn't also an episode when we had our very first guests, which was David and Jordan from the Shonen Flop podcast.
Okay.
It's one of those few where I would say it's like was us diving into something that we want to take different perspective of, because these guys only read manga. They don't really watch anime at all. They just read manga. So I like getting their perspective, especially when it comes to, can some of that stuff translate to this, and also certain practices, do they hinder anime and people, essentially the anime community, into whether they want that or not? Because that was one of the biggest things that we said about Netflix jail. We had shows where they'll be on Netflix, they'll say that it's coming out like summertime, but it doesn't get released until like 9 months later, like fully put out, but it's already out in Japan. And we get that a lot when it comes to streaming pretty much get us all the episodes that we want the moment of the air. But Netflix was ass backwards when they're doing their shit, because Amazon did it weekly, freaking Crunchyroll did it weekly, Highlight did it weekly, Hulu did shit weekly, and yet they were the only ones that didn't want to give it the program. And I think because of that episode, I actually almost dropped my subscription to Netflix because of that episode.
I feel like it's gotten better though, right?
It has gotten better, and the only reason why it got better is because of two specific animes, and I'm actually glad that they kind of picked it up, but I also hated the fact that they picked it up, because one of them is Komi Can't Communicate.
Yeah.
I've read the manga. The manga is phenomenal. It's kind of stale now because there's so many fucking chapters now of that. But
the same thing, I assume.
Yes, but the thing is, like, that anime tested the waters for viewerships to see if weekly would work on that. And the funny part is, it went up when they were doing that. And not only was that the only one that they were doing it with, they were doing it with also what was it? It's the painting anime. What the fuck was it called?
Painting.
Yes.
I don't know that one.
No,
that's my dream isekai. Leave that out of this.
Fuck, it's not. Fuck, it's it. Fuck, what was it called? Damn it! Hold on, I need to fucking get my receipts for this one, because this one was like, this one was really Blue Period. That one.
Okay, I've seen that.
Because that one was also doing it weekly, and that thing was actually that was in the top 10 of the most watched series as it was airing on Netflix.
They promote that shit a lot still.
That's
I
why
see it all the time. So.
And see what happens when you say you're gonna do it weekly and promote it on your actual service, and you can get more people to watch it. It's like, dude. And not only that, during the pandemic and into like most recent, anime is the number one thing being watched on Netflix.
I love that.
Yeah. So. But during this time when we released that episode, that was like 2 or 3 years ago that episode was released. This was during the time when anime was barely getting more and more recognition on Netflix. And during that time, I was saying that there was no way anime would survive on Netflix because no one's watching it on there. And they don't tell you what's on there either. But now, I'm kind of more indifferent because now they've actually been doing better. The only thing I hate what they did that they shouldn't have done was the JoJo stuff, because that pissed me the fuck off. And I'm a huge JoJo fan.
Love that.
Waiting 3 years for each part of fucking part 6? Fuck no. That's dumb as fuck. I could read that entire part in like way less than the time it took them to release that. Yes, definitely.
Yeah. No, it's like I haven't even finished Stone Ocean yet, because like I caught up, and then it was just forever, and I was like, okay, and then I kind of forgot about it, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go back and rewatch that now, or watch it, but I'm like, I need to rewatch the first part because it's been so long.
It's so long. Exactly, and that was one of the main arguments I made. It's essentially when you hear like a show coming out and you still haven't seen it released anywhere, over time you're gonna forget about it and you're not gonna go back to it. That's why a lot of these other shows, that when they get so hyped and then they get put in like Netflix jail or they get put into Disney Plus jail, no one gives a shit about them after that. And it's like, it sucks, because that's the trend of how anime is. Every season, there's always that one thing that always like is the bombest thing that anyone needs to go watch, and everyone's watching it. But then once they hear something and no one's talking about it, it gets like zeros everywhere of views. And it's bullshit. That's really is.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing that's happening with like Zom 100 right now, if you were watching that.
Yeah, dude. And I've read the manga. The manga's so good.
We're just sitting here waiting for 3 episodes. And I was telling Tyler, I was like, I honestly hope they just like finish the season and then they start with those 3 episodes and continue. Not just drop them and then wait another like year and a half, you know?
That was also the same thing with Uncle from Another World, and I love that show.
I love that show too, dude.
And then it happened to Nier Automata as well. And I'm like, Jesus, man.
We gotta give him some breaks though, because of COVID. COVID was a big factor in all of that. And I mean, When
Also,
your studio went down, it went down,
Also, Japan still takes it very, very serious about the COVID stuff. So here we're more lenient and lax on it because a lot of people just don't give a shit half the time. But over there, they really do care about their health, especially when you have more than 50% of your population over the age of 55. So you kind of have to be very careful with every stuff there.
Plus, I feel like, they're a lot more denser, you know what I mean? So it could probably,
it spreads way
do
quicker.
a lot more damage, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that, and I mean, Asia in a whole has been hit with a lot more of the pandemic kind of viruses than we have in the States. I mean, besides COVID, like before that, we had like the swine flu. Yeah. And like that was like I was in middle school or early high school. So I was like, well, like we hadn't had anything like COVID since then,
No, I mean they had H1N1 when Obama was in power during that time. Like,
yeah, they shut that one down pretty quick though. Like,
yeah, but that one was quick. Yeah,
it didn't spread like COVID did,
Exactly.
But awesome. So going into your anime origins, so how and when did you first get into anime?
It's pretty much the same as like a lot of people, but my anime was probably different from some because unless you grew up in my area, which is Southern California, and I'm Latino, I'm Mexican, I would watch a lot of shows in Spanish most of the time. And there was if most people that know of this station is called Telemundo, that thing would show anime, cartoons.
Okay.
But the thing is, during that time when I was watching that, I didn't even know what anime was. And a one hit me very, very hard because I love the sport of soccer. And of course, for all my Mexicans, it's a football. So one of the great exactly that's the name of that's actually how the sport's named. Because in America we call it soccer. Everywhere else is called football.
I thought you were saying
that's
that
not
the
title.
anime was called football.
No,
I was like, nice.
The title of the series is called, when this was what the name was in Spanish, it's called Super Campeones, which means super champions. But in Japan, the series was called Captain Tsubasa, which means Captain Flash Kick. Honestly, that was my first kind of taste into anime, and then I started watching like Dragon Ball Z in Spanish, stuff like that. And then we got like the Fox and the WB like Saturday morning lineup, and sometimes the Fox like afternoon block as well, where we got all these insane shows and shit like that. That essentially like was my childhood, and that got me my main love of anime. And there's like so many animes I can name most of them off the top of my head pretty easily from most of those blocks.
I love how you bring up.
Go ahead, Dan.
I love how you bring up the Fox morning block because we've talked a lot about Toonami, obviously, but like that
I
Fox
grew up with no
morning
cable.
block.
I grew up with no cable, so Toonami to me, I didn't get cable until like 2002, 2003.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Fox morning block had some bangers though. I mean, I remember like Sonic X was on it. I'm a huge Sonic nerd. Like if you look at my camera, like I have a bunch of Sonic shit behind me. It had like Beyblade. It had what else was on it? Those are the two that really sick. I think Digimon was on it as well.
Power Rangers.
So Digimon was on there. Power Rangers was like one of the main staples that was during that block. We had like Masked Rider, which was originally Kamen Rider in Japan, stuff like that.
Yeah.
But if you want to go through the animated series that are on there, like we had Samurai Pizza Cats. Samurai Pizza Cats was from like the 80s, and that thing was on the Fox lineup during that time when I was watching stuff. You go to the WB, you had Yu-Gi-Oh, you had Pokemon, you had Cardcaptor Sakura, dude, you had freaking Sailor Moon in your freaking lineups, dude. A lot of those, dude. You had like Hamtaro, even like on normal television. On top of that,
Hamtaro was a banger. I told Tyler's never seen Hamtaro, and I sent him a GIF, and he was like, "What's this?" I was like, "The greatest hamster anime you're ever gonna watch, dude."
Hamtaro is a very, very kiddish show, dude. If you really want a kiddish show that's good, Doraemon's better, honestly.
Yeah, I think Dan was it you, Dan, that talked about Doraemon a lot, or is that somebody else?
I haven't talked a lot about Doraemon, but like, I mean, it's a fucking cat with like a magic
transforms into stuff, man. Yeah,
transforms shit. He's got a magic like pocket that just pulls random shit out of it. Like Gintama makes fun of it all the fucking
time. Yeah. Like, dude, all those shows, just in general, you had so much, and that's when I slowly started liking that type of stuff. Like, I really did. And the funny part is, I think it was not until like I was in, I think middle school, I finally found out that most of the shows I was watching was anime.
Yeah.
It took that long to me to know that, but at the same time, it's like early freaking like late 1990s, early 2000s. That's how long it took for me to finally find out that that's what it was when I was like 11 years old, 11, 12.
That was so many people. I mean, Bass was like that. I mean, I didn't realize I was watching anime. I was just watching cartoons, you know?
Yeah, exactly. And that was the thing. Like, that's what everyone would always call them. Just like, oh, I just watching some cartoons and stuff like that. But then, like, that just opens up a giant can of freaking worms that are nowhere to. Especially when you get down to demographics and genres. Like, damn.
Yeah, I mean, even, where I'm from, I'm like backwoods Kentucky. So, like, people still think it's cartoons. Like, most people, especially they're older, they're like, why are you watching cartoons for? And I'm like, well, they're not really cartoons, but.
Cartoons with the best writing known to fucking man.
Yeah, pretty much. Like you can honestly pick a couple of animes and you can pretty much compare it to a TV show kind of in the similar aspect of it, and you can almost guarantee someone's going to probably pick the anime more over the show though.
Oh, I mean, why wouldn't they? The anime are just like the only cartoon I really we really call it cartoon, I guess, but like Avatar, like that's the only one that really holds up in my mind. So
good. That
American
has
anime.
Great writing. That's great writing.
I mean, there's some great cartoons out there, but it's just a different thing. Like with cartoons, it was always weekly. It wasn't like it was like a carrying on plot. I mean, like there were some good ones. Codename Kids Next Door. That was a banger.
That was a great show.
For the longest time, I actually thought that Attack on Titan was Teen Titans.
Oh my god! Damn.
I thought that's what everybody was talking about, bro.
Yeah, it's actually just Beast Boy turning into a Titan.
I'm not even joking. I think that's the first time I've said that, but that was literally a thing for me when I was younger. So
shame.
Mother of God.
Shame.
But you get into like the next question, I guess. Do you have like a favorite like genre, category, even demographic that you like pull towards, like your favorites?
The thing is, I have very varying opinions on every single one, which everyone usually does. It's like we always gravitate to the ones we enjoy the most. But I do gravitate more towards like seinen, and a lot of shoujo as well, or if you want to get to a little more adulter themed ones like joseis, like those ones there, like those main three are my main like staples, pools, and stuff like that I usually like to read most. I do read some shonen on top of that. I do like shonen stuff, not a whole lot of it because after a while, sometimes I just don't really care about most of the stuff I read because shoujo does the same thing too, and so the joseis as well. They have certain things that are in there, but it's just the twists and spins that they put on their actual storytelling is what I enjoy the most about those. And they usually tend to be almost hand in hand with each other. But there's also like certain series you have no idea that they were based off of this demographic than the other one. Like if we would say like Kaguya Love is War, do you know what demographic that one's under? I personally do because I've read it and watched the series.
I would assume that it would be a shoujo, but I'm probably wrong, right?
You are definitely wrong. Because that's what I would have thought as well.
What is it?
Shonen, baby.
It's not
just kidding.
It's not a shonen. It's not a shonen. It's actually a seinen.
I was gonna say it's probably seinen, right?
Yeah, it's a seinen. Yeah, like that's a seinen. Initial D is a seinen. Freaking
I can see it though, like because they don't really do like a lot of lovey-dovey type shit. It's more like flirting and teasing around, with comedy. So
they don't. But the strange thing is, it's the only reason why they have those demographics is because they have like subject matter that's supposed to be for more mature audience. We don't really see a whole lot of it when you read the actual manga of Kaguya-sama until you start seeing like the development of the actual characters themselves, because they actually do talk about like wanting to lose their virginities in the actual manga.
Okay,
nice.
And that's the thing. It's like you never see that in freaking shonens most of the time. Like they don't really like wherever talk about it. They always be like, oh, like boobs, gross, all that stuff. But I mean, they actually take approaches to kind of develop into actually maturing in the series and stuff like that.
Sorry, I'm just laughing because you said shonen boobs gross, and then they animate them all with absolute cannons.
Exactly, that's the thing. And you always see like the main characters like, oh no, I didn't mean to look, blah blah blah. It's like,
Yeah.
in those other series, they will slowly be like, well, we should talk about this instead. Instead of like, acting like children when they do most of that stuff.
Well, that's like with, shonen versus like seinen. The only difference is like one's meant for like a younger audience and one's meant for an older audience. Like there's so many different demographics within them all,
Exactly. But that's the thing though. But that's what I was saying. There are some shows that you did not expect to should be in that specific categories.
I can definitely agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, like, what's the horse girl one? Like Uramusame, I think that's what it's called.
I'm not touching anything with a horse girl. They're crazy.
Okay, that one is a seinen, and I had no idea it's a seinen.
Okay, I dated a horse girl, so I'm terrified.
No, not that one. Not that.
What's the most recent one?
That might be a show. Probably
it might be.
But I dated a horse girl, and they are scary.
There's a recent one too that really threw a lot of people off. Wasn't it was Skipping Loafer?
Skipping Loafer, I think that's a seinen as well.
Yeah,
and it doesn't
a lot of
seem
people
like
thought it was a shoujo.
Yeah,
so.
Dude. And the weird thing is, it makes sense why it is because of the backstory.
Yeah,
like the backstory really does make it, because like the fact that the main characters are being involved around alcohol and stuff like that, you don't see that. It's usually you'll see the adults being the drunk person and be like, fuck. It's like, I'm drunk, blah blah. Oh, look at me, I'm doing something stupid. But it's never the main characters interact with that.
Yeah, I mean, shoujo is just shonen for girls, so it makes sense.
Yeah,
with less fighting usually. So unless you get into the magical girls, so
yeah, you get there's some emotional fighting.
I was gonna say that is its own demographic in my book.
Right? Yeah, Maho shoujos. Yeah, exactly.
Awesome. So, Ash, no specific order, just give us like your top 3 favorite anime.
Top 3 favorites. Okay, I'm gonna do
5. Top 3.
Or even if you don't want to give us like your top, just give us some favorites.
Yeah, just rattle them off. I was more saying give us 5. Don't like rattle off like 47 different shows.
No, it's fine. It's fine. I'm gonna do 3 trolling ones and 3 actual like serious ones that I really enjoy. Monster. If you guys have not seen Monster, you need to go check out Monster.
Monster's lit.
It's an older series, but it's really fucking good. Like that's what sometimes peak anime can do in storytelling, and that one's really good at that. And it's short as hell. You don't need to watch like over 100 episodes. The thing is under, I think, 80 episodes. It's a really good series. Check it out. Good twists and turns. Probably one of the best like villains in anime. That's just a normal dude. Like, go check it out. That one's really, really good. Nana. Nana is one of my most personal favorite ones. It's in my top 5 favorite shoujos of all time. Nana is such a good one. It was animated by Madhouse back in like 2004 or 5, or it's around that time period. Go check it out. It's great. That's how a lot of stuff that should be done when it comes to growing up and essentially trying to make it in life. That anime is pretty good at it. Like, go check it out. That one's amazing.
And so I think when I was on your podcast, I think that you was talking about it, and it made me really want to watch it, but I haven't watched it yet. So
check it out.
It's
so good, and there's music involved in it as well, so it's pretty good.
Yeah,
especially if you haven't really watched many music animes, that one's a real. And of course, I'm gonna bring up this one because this is probably this is essentially my number 1, which is Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood.
My man.
A very good short shonen where you don't need over 100 episodes. Because like the storytelling just in between that thing, it gets to the point, gets it done. It's a really good also beginner anime. Especially if you really want to get into the actual demographic of shonen. That one does it really, really well without it actually dragging on filler episodes, all that type of stuff. Go check that one out too. That's one of my favorites.
It's peak.
It is really good. Like, I understand there's hate amongst it as well because everyone just overhypes the shit out of it. But if when you watch it, you can see why it's overhyped because it just gets through the story and just finishes. It doesn't take so long to drag out at all.
And I feel like it's like the right pace too. You know, it's not slow and it's not fast. So,
and I swear to God, like, if you don't like that show, you're not going to enjoy a lot of other stuff either. Because like that one condenses everything, and that one doesn't have like an insane amount of tropes that like a lot of newer stuff has nowadays. On top of that, it's really, really good, and it just keeps everything to a minimum. It doesn't overstay its welcome in a lot of aspects too, and a lot of the characters are memorable as hell.
Yeah,
definitely. There's a reason it's my number one starter anime recommendation.
Yeah,
and
okay,
it just makes it worse for everybody else after the fact because they watch that, then they go watch something else, and they're like, "Oh, that's not as good." Damn.
Exactly. Exactly, and that's the type of thing. That's the reason why like these specific animes are the ones that people should definitely go check out. Some of my personal favorites, but then let's get to some trolly ones because some of these I still recommend these to people, but just be very, very careful because well, the thing is like these things could throw people away from watching anime because it also deals with a lot of the stuff that people, when they see it, they'd be like, oh, okay, now see, this is why I always think anime is fucking childish, but it's still pretty funny. Go check out fucking Daily Lives of High School Boys. That show is so fucking funny. It's so good that I don't know why I always go back to watching it because I like the stupid shit in between. There is no actual storylines going in the entire thing. There's maybe tidbits of stuff that continues on into other episodes, but you can literally walk into any episode and you can understand what this entire series is pretty much telling you to do. It's fun as hell. It's really good. The music is phenomenal. And then the random shit, if you pay attention to stuff in the backgrounds, it's like, what the fuck is going on? Because and the thing is, like, I like telling people, I like giving them the first 5 minutes of what happens in the show. Once you turn it on, it starts out with like the main character, he's running down the street with a piece of toast in his mouth. Then his two friends start joining them later on, but they get that trope when it comes to the toast in the mouth it gets overplayed, but they take it to a more of an extreme on that one. There's like a dude eating ramen while running fucking with a bowl in his hand, eating ramen as they're running to class. And another dude's like making like some sort of, or like he's frying some food as he's going to. And then a giant Gundam crashes into the middle of the fucking city. That's the beginning. That's the first 5 minutes of the show, and then the intro plays right after that.
It sounds like some Gintama shit, bro.
And that's the funny part. It isn't, because they only did that to suck you in. Okay. And then once you watch it, it's just a bunch of comedy stuff that they do with just all the characters, and they just start introducing more and more people into their shenanigans, and it's hilarious as hell. So really good show.
Is this more like a boys show? Like it's not like all the romancy stuff, it's just like boys being boys?
It's just boys being boys. It literally is boys being boys.
This is a slice of life I can get behind because boys be boys.
Dude, I swear to God, if you watch at least the first 2 episodes, you want to continue watching it. It's only 12 episodes long. It's funny as hell. Really good series. And I remember before we started recording, you mentioned something about like you want like adults in your, or was it in the middle of the recording? We're saying about you want adults in your romance. Go check out Wotakoi. Wotakoi is fucking hilarious. There's 2 office workers that happen to work side by side that end up falling in love and actually doing stuff together, and they're giant nerds.
He's been recommended that.
That's the one I have to check out. But is it on Prime? I gotta figure out where it is.
It's on Prime. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Now, if you want to sail the high seas, I can give you a couple websites. So that's not a big deal.
That's easy.
Yeah. Okay.
Who doesn't have Prime in 2023? Come on, man.
The only Prime doesn't have are the OVAs for it. There is 3 OVAs. They are phenomenal OVAs. You should definitely check them out as well.
And I can say Ash has phenomenal websites because I got mine from him. So.
Yeah. Wotakoi is great. 2 fucking nerds. One that's a video game nerd. The other one is a Fujoshi.
Okay, you're the 4th person to recommend me this one, so I gotta watch this one. Hopefully, it's better.
It's funny as hell.
Better than the show we're gonna talk about next.
Oh, okay. All right, and then my last one, my slightly trolly-ish one, but it's fucking phenomenal to go check out. People, you all need to go and check out a little show called Bocchi the Rock.
Bocchi the Rock. There
Bocchi
we
the
go.
Rock is
Hell
so
yeah.
good. Bocchi the Rock is so good. It's
I mean,
so fucking weird and crazy, but it's great. It's so good.
If you like music, for sure. So if you like cute girls doing cute things plus music, and the music goes hard, you definitely gotta check out Bocchi the Rock. That shit's like it almost won like it was almost my top anime of when did it air? Winter?
That
Wintertime?
that was fall. That was
Fall.
the same time as like Bleach and all those other shows were out, and that
I
was
had
still contending.
Chainsaw Man too. Chainsaw Man came
Chainsaw Man
out.
was there too.
And
It was the
Bocchi
same
was
season.
at the top almost for me, so it was that good. So
Yes, phenomenal. Bocchi the Rock is essentially, think of like your most introverted friend, and if they animated his shenanigans, but on steroids. That's literally Bocchi the Rock. It's fucking hilarious. It's a great show.
yeah. Alrighty, I guess y'all should go check out those 6 shows at least. I'm gonna check out a few, I believe, especially Nana. Really interested in that. I guess we get on to the next thing. Now that we kind of know who Ash is and all that good stuff, the Oppa man himself. We'll get into a little deal that Dan and I made back.
Oh no.
When Kriegs, I think, was on, I believe.
Yep.
So a couple episodes ago. And basically we made a deal where I would watch a few episodes of Gurren Lagann and Dan would watch a couple shows of Peak Trash, Rent a Girlfriend.
Oh.
So do you what's your thoughts on Rent a Girlfriend, Dan? Come on, tell me. Break my heart right now.
It's trash.
I didn't say it wasn't.
It's an absolute dumpster fire.
Yeah.
You just feel bad for the main character the entire time.
You shouldn't feel bad for him.
No, he got himself in that shit.
Yeah, he puts himself in those situations. That's his fault.
I feel bad the fact that he got that down bad.
Oh my god.
So homie gets broken up with by some cute little waifu girl, and he's just so sad. His room is a mess. There's used tissues all over the floor, so you can pick up what I'm putting down there. He's a very sad man. And
hours.
He downloads this dating app where instead of like Tinder where you like go find a match, it's like, hey, what's up? You're single, I'm single. He just pays these women money to go on dates with him, and they're like pathetically like just like appeasing him. And it's gross, man. Like it is awful.
It's a real thing too.
Yeah.
I know.
It is a
big thing.
Yeah, it's a huge industry.
Oh, we talked about a while back, we talked about a guy who would rent a girlfriend to play Yu-Gi-Oh with him.
Yep.
And
I heard about that.
She started bringing her own deck and shit. That's lit. But like, I don't know, man. It just was not for me. Again, you know, like Tyler said I was going to laugh. And I think I smirked like once through 4 episodes. And I was like, this is just not me.
See, I think that's my bad too. Cause I don't think the first like handful of episodes really get into the laughable moments. You know what I mean? That's more the sad boy hour moments.
How did you not smirk smirk during the ED? The ED is literally a giant jerk off joke.
I don't
even. You probably didn't watch the ending.
I don't think honestly. I made it.
You didn't watch the ending? The ending? Yeah, the ED.
Oh no, I did. I just didn't pick up on it.
I was laughing my ass off because they're always cheering him on. He's shaking a bottle. What's the motion you make when you shake a bottle? There is tissues everywhere. There is that was fucking, God. Like if now that you're picturing it, that's literally the whole ending. And then it's the girls cheering him on while he's picturing them cheering him on.
I'm laughing at you right now. I'm not laughing at that. Is sad.
Yes,
this is a sad anime. It trash.
Is a super sad anime. It's horrible. It's such a horrid, and it's still going. The freaking manga is still going.
I can't believe it's. I mean, they're on 3 seasons of the anime, and it's going to keep going. Like,
and over 200 something chapters.
That's nuts. I mean, like, I will. So if you're into this crap, like you enjoy this kind of stuff, I think you would really enjoy it. But it's just not for me. As you know, like I have like the mind of like a 50-year-old man. I'm just grumpy, and I hate teenagers. So this is definitely not for me.
And the funny part, they're not teenagers; they're college students.
No, they're college students in Japan are like 17, dude. Come on.
Kazuya's actually 20 in the series.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think they're closer to 20.
He's 20.
Fuck them. They still suck.
Yeah.
But to reinstate this, I did not say this was great anime. I said this was peak trash.
So I literally was like messaging Tyler and I was like, dude, this guy just needs to go to a goddamn party and go talk to chicks who aren't in this dumb little fucking friend group. He'll get laid and it'll be fine. It'll be over. Like, this could be like 8 episodes if he just gets out of his comfort zone and goes and drinks some fucking beer.
Oh, he drinks beer.
Yeah. It's some little closed off room in a restaurant with a bunch of schmucks.
They literally go to karaoke and shit with a bunch of friends. I'm pretty sure one time, and Mizuhara. So,
damn. I mean, my favorite character is Mami-chan because she is a conniving bitch, and I love that.
I love how you love the most hated character in the series. That's great. That's actually funny
because she actually brought some tension to it. Otherwise, this was just dumb.
I agree.
See, I think the tension, going forward, like, I do realize that I made a mistake by, like, this show, like, the comedy really comes, I think, after they really get going. Mizuhara and him really gets going, and then the other girls get introduced, and they get away from Mami-chan. So I think the comedy comes then. You know what I mean? Like the good comedy. Well, not the good comedy, but the ones that I find funny. So,
gotcha. I don't think the humor is for me. Like, I enjoy, like, my humor is like Family Guy and like Gintama and like that kind of like dumbass shit, And
then you'll definitely love that. Then you'll definitely love High School Boys. That one's fucking hilarious.
Hell yeah,
it's ridiculous. God.
So, before I get into my thoughts about Gurren Lagann, I think multiple people's already recommended him Wotakoi. Do you have like another show that you think he would like rom-com with adults other than Wotakoi?
With adults?
No, it doesn't even have to be adults. Like, I mean, like, it wasn't a rom-com, but like, I actually enjoyed like Insomniacs After School because it was like grounded.
Yes.
There's plenty of like romances out there that you would like, but the thing you was asking for rom-coms, and I was giving you rom-coms.
Romance.
You're right.
Okay.
Like, I don't mind romance stuff. That's fine. If it's like grounded, it makes sense. Not just like, I mean, you made me watch Toradora, and I wanted to palm fist Tiger, whatever her name was, Toradora, into a goddamn coffin. She was.
Nothing tells me you really hate that trope. We'll get in that later. Yes, definitely. Okay, two very good ones. Just straight romance. Really doesn't really have like a hint of comedy in any of that type of stuff. This one I always recommend to people all the time, especially when it comes to really good romance. Golden Time. Golden Time is amazing. Go check that one out. 26 episodes, I think. I believe that one you can find it on, say, is Crunchyroll.
I think it's High Dive, maybe.
Is it High Dive? Okay.
Maybe.
That one's pretty awesome.
College students. So.
Yeah, they're college students.
Okay.
This one's more serious, though.
That's good. No, that's fine. I don't mind that at all. Like, I mean, I enjoyed that. It's. I just hate the really like, will they or won't they for 47 episodes. It's like, fuck off.
Oh, no. This one doesn't do that. That one doesn't do this. It doesn't. I feel that you're probably going to hit some... If you're a very emotional individual, you're going to probably feel a few things in that show.
Probably not.
If you're not very emotional, you're probably not going to feel them, but they might... Some of the stuff does hit.
I'll feel them. I won't cry.
I've cried in that series. It's I like the show. It's one of my favorites. And then here's one that if you just want just straight romance, that's... Okay. There is some comedy bits in between. It's understandable. But Clannad is one of those ones that has to, like, it's a staple. It's really, because the thing is, like, the first part of Clannad, it's essentially the main two characters and their story. Then there's Clannad after stories, and that is, like, really good. Because it's what happens later. And you pretty much get kind of gauge of how it kind of is by the end of Clannad, the first part. And then the second part is just as good.
I think Clannad's like a wonderful recommendation for like a pure romance or whatever.
Yeah.
But I feel like Dan would absolutely hate that just because of how the characters look.
It
No.
is,
And how slow it is.
It's 2006.
Yeah.
Yes, the animation for that thing is kind of the studio that did that had that style for like ever. That's the thing. It's gonna look like that. Even if you look at any of their other shows, they do the same thing. So it's not anything different.
I googled it and I was like, damn, what's with them eyes?
Yeah, the eyes is the biggest thing that you're gonna. It looks annoying, but Clannad is actually a really good show. It's really good.
And a lot of people like to recommend Violet Evergarden too. Like that's an adult like romance, or
I don't consider it a romance technically until like the end, though.
Yeah,
because the end actually kind of pushes it into becoming a romance. Because by the end of the series, you see something, but the movie, dude, dude. If you ever want to see a grown man cry, the 45 minutes, the last 45 minutes of Violet Evergarden I was bawling the whole time. It was so good.
Don't worry, Dan and Bass has probably heard me talk about me crying almost on every episode, so it's all good.
Yeah, it could be like Tyler could like see a goldfish die and he'd be like, I cried.
I do not, bro. Like unless the goldfish is probably named Minato or something. I don't know. Yeah.
Just the writers episode with the umbrella. That's my favorite episode of Violet Evergarden because it's probably the one that hits the hardest.
Yeah, I still haven't watched Violet Evergarden, even though I should.
You should.
But the thing is I know I'm gonna cry so much during it that I haven't watched it yet. If that makes sense, Ash.
I'm gonna tell you this, man. This is how much torture I like to take. Because I remember the first time I watched Violet Evergarden, I could not sleep at night. I just could not go to sleep for some weird reason. I watched the whole Violet Evergarden series, and I was so tired and exhausted afterwards that the crying put me to sleep at like when I was done with the series, and I was like, "Fuck, that was really good," and like I finally knocked out.
It's like 7 a.m. and he's just like, "Fuck,
yeah,
I gotta go to bed." Damn,
dude, it was like 10 p.m. when I started, and I ended like 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning.
Like I really enjoy the anime, like the romances and stuff or even anime that make me cry a lot, but I hate them too. Like that's some of my favorite shows, but like I just hate watching them. You know what I mean? Because it makes my anxiety go up. Honestly, I'm like, oh shit, I'm gonna have to watch this dumb shit. And I'm gonna have to cry.
Tyler, dude, you just need like some crackers, some cheese, a little pepperoni, a little salami, a little charcuterie.
What's that gonna do?
Nice bottle of red wine to put down while you watch it. You can just like basically be a middle-aged woman. You're good.
I mean, is that what middle-aged women do?
Yeah, they watch sad movies and cry while drinking wine. It's game on.
Oh, well, I would rather have pizza, bro.
All right, pizza is essentially crackers, cheese, and pepperoni cooked.
Yeah, pretty much.
We're cooking now.
Goddamn.
Give me my shit, my little sour apple shit, you know?
My God.
God, your teeth must hurt, dude.
Right?
Okay.
Dude, my teeth feel like they're falling out listening to that.
What's that other shit that I drink? Not just the sour apple. I drink like the tea, the lemonade. Yeah, the lemonade.
The Mike's Hard and those Cayman Jack fucking margaritas, dude.
I only drink them every once in a while. So
sugary.
Yep.
All right. Good. So I had to watch Rent a Girlfriend, and
oh yeah, sorry, that's what we were talking about.
I wasted probably about 2 hours, 2-3 hours. You know,
that sounds about right. That sounds about right.
I wasted 2-3 hours.
Mm.
Tyler, what did you think about one of my favorite shows, which is actually not peak trash, Gurren Lagann?
Gurren Lagann. So I actually kind of enjoyed it. Like the plot and stuff was really well. I thought really good. The action was pretty good, even though I'm not a big fan of mechas. It wasn't too mecha-y, I guess.
Did you finish it?
Huh?
Did you actually finish it?
No, I only watched 4 or 5 episodes.
Oh, okay. Oh,
Yeah.
okay. So he
Which,
hasn't got to that part. Oh, okay.
Oh
which
God.
so
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
so I forget how many episodes this is. I think it's like 20 something, right?
26, I think it is.
26 with like 2 recap episodes, so really like 24.
Yeah.
And like 3 movies, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to say.
So it's not too bad, but I definitely didn't finish it. But
Yeah.
honestly, like if it was longer than 20 some episodes, like I probably wouldn't finish it. But since it's not longer than that, like I will finish this eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Probably pretty fast on it. I was really enjoying it. Like the music and like the whole thing was pretty fun. The I don't know his name, but Big Bro, he's a pretty fun
Kamina.
character. So, but well,
Yeah, Kamina.
Kamina's
yeah,
goat, dude.
yeah,
The soundtrack's awesome, dude. Row, fight the power. Like, fuck
yeah.
yes.
I mean, I like his personality like a lot. He's not just all about action and stuff. Like he wants to look cool while fighting, and that's a fun personality. So,
Kamina's personality is great. I just hate that how stupid he is.
That's one of the best parts, though. That adds a lot of comedy to it,
Yeah, because I always saw Kamina as like that friend of yours that you go do shit with, but then he always thinks about like, you want to go just break something? That's literally Kamina. Whenever I think of Kamina.
Well, so like,
Yeah,
Tyler, you've seen them combined now, right? Like you've seen Gurren Lagann at that point.
Yeah, and there was like a whole like episode almost of him not combining the right way. So
Yeah,
if that makes sense, and he had to combine the right way to look cool and to be manly or something. I forget what it said.
The indomitable spirit of manliness, baby.
Yeah.
got him.
But
I mean, as far as characters go, I forget his name. The little kid, the main character, Simone. Yeah, Simone. He could be just a bit annoying at times. It's got that thing where like, he don't want to do it. He hesitates, but then the power of big bro friendship, brings him back into the fight. You know what I mean? So.
Well, dude, if I was like 10 years old doing 12 years old doing this shit too, I'd be terrified. You're fucking piloting a robot, like that's terrifying.
It wasn't like overbearing. It was just like, just a little bit annoying at times. So, but I mean, overall, I really enjoyed it. Like I said, I really like Kamina. I really like red haired chick. She's
Yoko?
fun. Yeah, she's really fun.
Certified baddie.
Yeah.
Oh God! Do not say that. Do not say that. He's like 12 years old, by the way.
Yeah, she's really fun though.
Yes, she's 12 at the beginning of the series.
With cannons like that?
Yes.
No way.
And towards the very end, she's like 17, I think.
Does it last that long, or is it like
Yeah?
There's like a time skip or something.
Yeah, the later it gets because they start growing up and shit like that.
Okay.
Yeah. No, it's like you need to finish it.
She's 14. Damn. Take it all
back.
See,
yeah, exactly. That's what we say is a baddie. Like, I'll feel about that.
Sorry. Future Yoko's a baddie.
There you go. Thank you.
Season second half, season 1 or whatever, season 2, whatever the fuck it is. Yoko's a baddie.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I really enjoy it so far. Like I said, the music really stands out. Especially while they're fighting and stuff. The music is really well done, I thought so, and it's not really paced, poorly either. I think it's got a really good pace. So,
yeah, it definitely, the pace is excellent on it. I mean, like, you never feel like you're just kind of like watching something happen. It's always just action or like good storytelling.
But I am gonna break your heart right now. If I had to choose which one to watch, Rent a Girlfriend or Gurren Lagann, I would definitely pick Rent a Girlfriend.
Bro.
I just saw the looks on your face, so that was funny.
Bro.
Goddamn.
You haven't finished it yet. You don't know how good the story gets.
Yeah, true. Now, this is my, opinion after, 4 to 5 episodes. So obviously that could change. I expect this show to hit about like a 7 or 8 for me. So honestly, right now.
Have you met Viral yet?
Describe him.
He's like he is a beast man. He's like communist rival. He has the one with like the 2 heads.
Yeah, but he run off, right?
Yeah, he comes back a lot.
Yeah, but I think that they seen him because they made a reference about him having 2 heads, and he went on to a tangent about how the top is like a something. He called it something.
Yeah. It's like a
that's him, right? Like
that's him.
blonde hair, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, blonde hair and like jagged shark teeth.
Yeah, he's a beast, man. He has a lot of really cool character development, and you'll see it a lot in the second half of the show.
Okay. And another thing I really enjoyed was the damn bison, the backwards bison.
Oh, the pig thing that like runs backwards.
I wouldn't call that like a pig.
The cow thing, yeah.
It's like Anya's dog, bro.
Has grapes like on it, right? Like it looks like grapes on its neck or something like that.
I don't know, man. They hold its tail.
No, you're talking the thing that
they run forward, but their head is their butt.
Yeah, you're talking the thing that those
it literally looks like a giant furry dog, like Anya has.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's like the black siblings.
The black siblings or whatever. The things that they ride in the desert. That shit caught me off guard, honestly. So I was like, damn, what is this shit? So it's like they're literally riding this shit, but they're holding its tail and they're running full speed in that direction, but their head is facing the other way. Like it was trippy, bro. So
they're fun. I mean, all the character designs and like all the animals and everything in that show are really fun. I'm gonna warn you, episode 8, that's a tough one. So just be ready for that.
Am I gonna cry?
You might.
Maybe, yeah.
Ash, am I gonna cry, bro?
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not watching it.
You should
definitely.
I'm
done. I'm done watching this shit.
Awesome. Well, I'm not going to continue Rent a Girlfriend. Hopefully, Tyler continues Gurren Lagann because the story gets really good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm definitely going to continue it. I wish you would continue Rent a Girlfriend because I feel like the humor gets better. So.
I don't got time for that, bro.
Oh, man.
We'll get into it when we talk about what we're watching, but I don't have fucking time for that. So next, we've done this a few times. We've talked our starter animes, and Ash kind of already said one that he would definitely recommend, but I chose FMA Brotherhood. Bass chose JJK because that's banging, and anybody who watches that's going to enjoy it. And Tyler chose Mob Psycho. So Tyler, has your choice changed, or are you still going Mob Psycho?
No, I'm still sticking with Mob Psycho just because, it's not long. It shows a lot of the different anime aspects with great animation, I feel like. So it's overall a really good choice, I think, just to get into anime. So
awesome. And Ash, what would you recommend? You can't say Brotherhood. I already got it. Sorry.
No worries. No worries. Okay,
this is for someone new to anime, by the way.
Yeah, brand
spanking new. Okay,
yeah.
Brand spanking new. I would probably say. Okay, I'm only recommending this one because I think it's gorgeous and people would want to see the outcome of this one. Kimi ni Todoke.
Okay.
From me to you.
That's and now we're back at Undead Unluck, baby. Let's go.
Is the ending so good you'll jump off a bridge into a train?
What, for Kimi ni Todoke? No,
we
because
don't know. It ain't ended, right?
There's another season coming soon.
Yeah,
I'm just making a joke about Undead Unluck.
Goddamn, I need to start that one actually.
Oh, it's really, really fun.
One of the dudes that was doing a dub voice for that one was on my show, and I did not know that until he told us on the episode it was on.
Damn.
Yeah,
that's fucking cool.
Who
did not know that.
Play?
I don't know. I need to ask. He said he could not tell us.
Well, I mean, there's literally not many extra people. Like, it's all the people that we see is pretty vital to the show. I feel like when the episode is going. So,
well, I need to ask him.
What's his name? We can Google this shit.
I was gonna say that right now. I don't know his real because he goes by the anime professor.
Oh, okay.
So it's you kind of have to like I actually have to find his name. I could probably ask.
Nah, it's fine.
Ask him later.
Yeah, we'll figure it out later.
He's the anime academic. That was his name. Sorry. In case people like try to find it that way. No, he's the anime academic. He has a YouTube channel.
Okay. I got you. So Kimi Todoki. I actually like that recommendation a lot. You would recommend that to like everybody? Like you don't have like a shonen recommendation like for people that don't like those type of things?
It's because like I would want them to start with something gradually just changing in between the stuff than something that just essentially is the same demographic.
I got you.
Because the thing is, it's like most people would still stick to those ones if usually they don't get another from a different like demographic genre and stuff like that. So most people would stay the same in most of their viewings, and we're simple creatures. If the moment we like something, we usually don't steer away from it.
True.
And you can really say that like about like anything, and it's usually true.
Even though I really adore Kimi Todoki, I feel like that is a really bold choice, like to put on someone new. You know what I mean? So.
I pick it because for it being an older series, its animation's actually really phenomenal. It can match some of the stuff that's out today. That's one of the main reasons why I recommend it, because you can see like how even some of the older stuff, especially if people don't want to go and venture back to older stuff, that one just watching it will pretty much show you that a lot of older stuff can look as amazing and need to be checked out as well.
I got you.
Yeah.
I mean, I enjoy that choice, so I would absolutely love I would have loved to start on that. Instead, I started on Naruto and ended up watching that like a bunch of times, and then I went on to a bunch of other shonen, and then I think my first like shoujo top deal was actually My Love Story. So,
oh yeah, that's good.
And then I'm like you now. Like this is my demographic. This is what I like. So more than shonen. So
yep,
awesome. Well, perfect. So next we're gonna step it up a notch. So we're gonna do anime recommendations for your veterans, your people who have watched a lot of shows, so they have a lot of background in anime. This might be getting them out of their comfort zone, maybe not, I don't know. But for my first, I have two. So my first one, I'm going Gintama, because if you watched a lot of anime,
yes,
you will love this show, because the references to literally everything else there is anime are all time. It is so funny, and like the best part is like in the top of the screen, they'll put it in yellow where they'll actually tell you what the reference is if you don't know what it is.
Yep.
Which makes it so much better. But like if you've watched a lot of anime, you'll laugh the entire time. And the show is fantastic. It's like a top 10 for me, and I haven't even finished it yet. It's already up there.
Yes, it is. Same. It's a top 10. I haven't finished it either, and I love the show. So
I'm on like 210 or something like that. 217. I don't know.
I'm in the hundreds.
Oh, dude, I finally got to widescreen. It was incredible.
Oh yeah, dude. When that first appeared, because they mention it too. When it changes to widescreen, it's like what?
They make fun of it for like 50, 60 episodes. They're like, sorry, we don't have the budget for a widescreen.
It's so stupid, man.
Gintama's just fourth wall breaks so well. It's like that's the thing in anime that's like so much fun. They can do it in a comedy shonen. It's so good.
Yeah, it's been so fun. And then my second one, it's an oldie, but one of the best shows ever, is just Neon Genesis Evangelion. I mean, the story's top tier. The mechas are really weird. So like if you're not a fan of mechas, they don't really feel like mechas. So that's always cool. But it's been so incredibly influential on the genre itself. I mean, if you watch the fight to start JJK Season 2, Part 2, where you had Mechamaru fighting Mahito? Yeah, Mahito. They were literally just ripping off Evangelion the entire time, and it was fucking awesome. So definitely check that out. And the main character, Shinji, may or may not want to bang his mom in some weird way. So that adds a little A little of a what the fuck reason to watch it, right?
No, that's just like a
damn
reason
it.
not to watch it, bro.
No. You gotta watch it. He doesn't actually want to beg his mom. Maybe
I'm
a
not gonna
clone.
watch it, but unless you make me watch it on Showdown Throwdown or something.
Maybe
Right.
a clone. Maybe a clone. I don't know.
I mean, you know how I feel about mechas. Like, I'm not gonna watch that. So.
Yeah, you don't like old shows. We know.
But I like the OP. Like the OP is really good. One of
It's
them.
one of the best.
So.
The OP is one of the best anime openings of all time.
But do you want to get into yours, Ash, or you want me to get into mine?
You know what? You threw out two of them already, right? Or just one?
I threw out two. You can do one,
two.
5. Well, not 5. That'd take a while.
I'll throw out two because one of this is from my childhood. Slayers. Slayers is one that's the creator of it is essentially his D&D campaign is the story.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm going off on a little sidebar here, but we actually talked about this in a how cool it would be during one of our episodes if like Dungeons and Daddies, the podcast. Are you familiar with that?
Yeah, I've heard of that podcast. I haven't listened to any of their episodes, but I've heard of them.
Yeah, it's basically like a Dungeons and Dragons, like a very loose playthrough of Dungeons and Dragons that is very mature comedy about like just it's got dad jokes and it's got mature like manly humor in it, and it's about like a group of dads get sucked into another world with their kids, and they get the kids get like teleported away from them, and they got to go get them back, and they got to fight their dads for their kids, all this stuff. Like, it's really humorous, and like it just reminded me so much of that. I really wish they would make an anime about Dungeons and Daddies. Sorry.
That would be funny if they do one, but they kind of have something in that similar aspect that's not Dungeons and Dragons, because it's is it like Me in Another World with my mom? No, like something about my mom's multi-hit attack.
Oh yeah,
multi-hit attack. Like because it was Mama-kun, which I think was the name of the character.
Okay.
Or yeah, like that one is kind of in that same realm, except it's your mom with you.
So what?
Such a bad anime to do not watch it. Do not watch it.
So we got off a little bit. You said Slayer. So what is Slayer? Like, let us know a little bit about Slayer. Sorry.
Slayers is okay when people want like a true fantasy anime. That is a true fantasy anime. No isekai bull. It's straight fantasy. Go check it out. It's really good. If you really want to see like medieval times, magic, wizards, elves, stuff like that, go watch Slayers. It's really good. There's two seasons of it because I think there's Slayers X. I think is part 2 of it. I'm not sure, but there is also a OVA that is a prequel to it, and that one's really good. Okay. I think it's a prequel. If not, it's a movie, but it's really, really good. And that one was like written by the actual creator himself, and he like produced it too.
I was looking at some pictures of it. Kind of like the animation kind of reminds me of like Inuyasha almost.
It is from the 90s. Yeah,
so it's got that vibe. Yeah,
it does. It's actually a really good show. Like that's one show that I've always talked about. Whenever they do a remaster or reboot, they need to reboot that one. That one's actually a really good series.
Okay. What do you got for your second one?
Go check out Fist of the North Star. Like,
yes.
Yeah,
classic,
dude. It's like Fist of the North Star is a good like showing of like how like shonen years, dude, the decades.
Like whenever I think of Fist of the North Star, I just think of that meme where he just like opens up the bush and
that's
out, Yeah. Or the "you're already dead," obviously. So,
dude,
I've never seen it though.
We did our segment on the most hard-boiled characters in anime, and for sure Kenshiro came up in the intro. We didn't talk about him, but like Kenshiro's just a fucking man's man, dude.
Yeah, man, that's it, man. It's just so dumb. Like if he just touches you, you die. It's just that's how just insanely powerful he is.
He's the One Punch Man before Saitama came along.
Yeah, pretty much.
So like Fist of the like, does that like still stand up in today's anime world? Like, is it still like decent to watch though?
People talk about influential shows, and that always comes up on it. I honestly think if you just watch that, you can see where a lot of the big three storytelling, the way how they do it, goes to almost the exact same style as that one was. And that thing came on the 80s, and some of these ones came on the 90s, only within like 10 to 15. They still did almost the same style of storytelling. So if you really enjoyed like Bleach, One Piece, all these other ones, you'll enjoy the way how it's paced almost kind of the same way. Okay. And you can tell that Shonen literally didn't really change all that much in storytelling until more modern ones that come.
Yeah, I mean, Fist of the North Star and like Dragon Ball are probably like the two most influential for like that 90s shonen era there are, you know?
Yep.
All right, I guess I'll get into mine, right? I think my first one that comes to mind when talking about like veteran anime people is probably, I would probably recommend them March Comes In Like a Lion.
Oh,
and
so good.
Yeah, it is one of my top shows, and I feel like you know, this show can be recommended like to people that has only watched a handful of anime, because it is a really slow show, you know, and it's talking about like a shogi, which is kind of like Japan's version of like chess, I guess you can call it. So overall, it's like a really slow paced show, and it also is like filled with like a lot of themes of like trauma, you know, depression, just self learning, I guess you can say. I feel like it does it well though. It's just like I said, really slow. So,
is there comedy in this one? Because I haven't watched it yet. I just googled it and it said comedy drama.
There is some comedy in it. This one's also a seinen as well.
Yeah.
So they do go deeper into what those actual things that happens are. So you will feel some things in this show. This show's really good.
Yeah, I cried multiple times. So the comedy doesn't really come from his life per se. It comes from, you know, the sisters that he meets, and especially their cats. You know, that's where the comedy comes from, is the family that he befriends, like the group of sisters that he befriends. They're more like bubbly. They got like a little Anya type deal without the superpowers. She's just cute, like Anya's age. Well, she's probably younger than Anya, but like her personality is like very bubbly and very pure and wholesome, I guess you can say, you know what I mean? So I think the comedy comes from her and that family and the cats. They got talking cats, so that's really funny. But his life, on the other hand, there's nothing funny about it. It's very gloomy, very dark, and very like gray. Like,
so usually, I'll laugh at it. Gotcha.
I mean, I feel like you will, but I mean, I would definitely watch this. This is like rated in the high 8s and 9s on Mal, and it's like one of the top shows. But I feel like a lot of people don't watch this just because it starts out so slow, and it's about shogi. Like, people see this about shogi and they're like, I don't want to watch an anime about shogi, but it's not really about shogi. It's about, you know, Ray, his life. So, but going off of that, I think my second show, if you only like shonen, you don't like the more like seinen or, you know, that type of deal. I think I would actually recommend Dororo, which I recommended Bass to watch, and that's just like a really good shonen. So,
awesome.
But have you ever seen that before, Ash?
Dororo?
Yeah, Dororo.
Yeah, I seen the original one of it too. I think it's from the 1960s as well.
You've seen the remake though?
Yeah, I seen that one. Hyakamaru, fucking yeah. No, I've seen that one too. I do like the artist that does the OPs, which is Queen Bee.
Yeah,
like all their music. Queen Bee's music's amazing.
Queen Bee actually did Undead Unluxed.
They did the OP for that one. They did the ED to Oshinoko.
Yeah.
The song is called
Okay.
Mephisto. Mephisto.
And Queen Bee is awesome. Like,
Yes, I love Queen Bee.
So, but definitely a really good one to check out. So, if you like shonen.
Perfect. Awesome. So next we're gonna get into just a really quick run through of what we're watching now. That way you can kind of get a taste of what Ash is into. So I guess I'll start. So obviously, Tyler and I are watching the weekly rundown shows. If you aren't checking out the weekly rundown episodes of our podcast, I don't know what you're doing.
What are we watching on that, Dan?
One Piece.
No, we're watching more than One Piece.
No, watching One Piece, Rurouni Kenshin, JJK, Undead Unluck, and Frieren Beyond Journey's End. I think that's all of them.
5? That's not like 5. Jujutsu Kaisen. He didn't say Jujutsu Kaisen.
He did say JJK.
Oh, he did?
JJK.
Yeah.
Sorry for people who don't know what JJK is and are living under a rock. It is Jujutsu Kaisen.
I think I have a tendency to just tune Dan out sometimes when he's speaking. I've done it multiple times, I guess.
I've noticed.
The spoiler episode, you know?
I will.
Just tune deep out, I guess. I don't know, man.
Yeah. But he's just like, oh, the next island in One Piece is beep. And I'm like, bro, what are you doing?
It'd be like that sometimes, bro. I don't know.
But besides that, some shows I'm watching this season are Shangri-La Frontier. I'm watching MF Ghost, which is a bangin'. Ran Kamanahashi, Forbidden Deductions, which has actually been really fun. It is basically about a detective with a police agency teaming up with a forsaken detective. Like, he's not allowed to be a detective. And they're solving all these crazy crimes. And
that's the one you was talking about in Discord the other day, right?
Yeah, it was on my list of shows I want to check out in the fall. And a little bit of a spoiler, but not really. Ron has a weird ability that when he solves a crime, he tells the person to kill themselves, and then they go do it.
Oh. Okay.
So it's been really interesting. The crimes have been fun. Like, there was one with a piggy bank, and it also led to them solving a murder. So it's been very interesting. I'm also watching Firefighter Daigo, which is, I've only watched one episode so far, but it seems like it's gonna be really cool. It's really grounded. It's not like your normal shonen anime where there's like magic powers and shit. This is really just about actual firefighters saving lives. Besides that, Gintama, obviously I've talked about that a lot. I'm still trying to get through Dyna Xenon, which is part of the
Gridman.
SSSS series.
SSSSSS. The Gridman series. And I already talked about it, but I've watched 4 episodes of Rent a Girlfriend, and I will not be continuing that.
There you go.
What do you got, Tyler?
For me, I got a couple of shows that Dan mentioned, but also Shy. I've been watching Shy. I've been watching the 100 Girlfriends anime. 100 Girlfriends that really love you. But I've been really enjoying that one. They're doing like a little fourth wall breaking themselves, so the humor is pretty good, but it's definitely an ecchi though. So if you don't like ecchi harems, probably should steer clear of this. So then I've been watching Our Dating Story. I've been really enjoying that. Spy Family, and of course Apothecary Diaries. What about you, Ash? What's going on with you over there? Maybe Ash has been disconnected? Possibly.
Maybe he stepped away to I don't know. But how are you liking Apothecary Diaries? Because I want to check that one. I just haven't yet.
Oh, he's back. Hello, Ash?
Yeah, sorry. I freaking stepped away because it's being loud outside. Sorry.
You're good. But Apothecary Diaries, it just released yesterday, by the way.
Okay.
So I only got like one episode in last night. I don't know have you watched like all the episodes of Apothecary Diaries, Ash?
No, I haven't started that one actually.
Okay.
That's on the list.
Okay.
Yeah, I have a fucking giant list right now.
Yeah, I feel like the first episode, like it's really beautiful for one thing. It's got a really unique story. I feel like it was a bit fast paced, but I think it's okay. You know what I mean? So overall, I think this is going to be a really good show, though. I do want to see I think it released the first 3 episodes, or maybe 4 all at once. I'm not sure. I think 3, because it just released yesterday, I think so. Or Saturday for Friday or Saturday for, the people listening to this podcast on Thursday morning or whatever. So, but yeah, Ash, what all you got going on over there?
I mean, I'm probably watching some of the stuff that most people are we're looking forward to. Spy Family season 2, great so far. Beautiful freaking show. People need to watch that. One's really good. Manga's amazing. Frieren, I've been watching that one too. That one's really good.
Really, it might win Anime of the Year, maybe, possibly.
I hope it does. But I doubt it, because it's always a fucking shonen every time. So
yeah.
Here's one that probably no one has under their radar, because I love this series because of the creator, MF Ghost.
Already said it, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, you did? Okay, just making sure. I wasn't too sure if you have it. I wasn't too sure. So you said it you said it when I was gone. All right, cool. Yeah.
So I guess you also missed when you was gone on the 100 girlfriends that really
that one. Oh, that one is, dude. The manga's so good. The manga is, dude. Oh god, I love that manga. The manga's, people need to read that. Good.
I've been really enjoying it, so a lot.
Yeah.
So
yeah, dude, that one's definitely like on my list, because I love that series specifically.
Dan would absolutely hate this, because
you guys would definitely
high schoolers.
I got MF Ghost.
Literally, the second episode of 100 Girlfriends, they're literally like ass to mouth, basically, at some point. So when they're trying to kiss, bro,
there's like
they're trying to kiss
movie.
blindfolded.
There is a horror movie called Human Centipede with a similar plot.
I mean, it's wild. I really enjoy the humor in 100 Girlfriends, though.
Dude, it's so good. It's I think it's probably one of those like top tier comedy people should definitely check out. Reading it is great. Like, honestly, it's personally one of my favorites to read. It's just a guilty pleasure. So good.
So, without getting into any like big spoilers for it, like, realistically, how many girlfriends can we expect to see on this season of Girlfriends?
A lot.
Like, right now, we only got 4.
4 right now, right? Okay, yeah, we have the first 4. I think by the time, where I think they're going to end it, they're going to be to 10, I think.
10. That's
10.
Like, I just want to see what happens when he gets, like, I want to see what happens when he gets to 10, but I want to see what happens when he gets to, like, the high numbers, close to 100. Like, I just want to see that. Like, he's such a klutz, or whatever. So
if they actually if this actually does really well, and I'm seeing right now most of the scores, it's pretty positive so far, and they continue the series, I think it will be one of those ones where I feel they will finish it if it has a lot of backing behind it, though. It's very tropey, like heavily, because that's the point of this series specifically. But it's the comedy of it lands so well, because it's like, no, duh, that was gonna happen. But it's like, it's the whole point of like, I knew that was gonna happen, but that's pretty funny how they did.
Yeah, I mean, it's like etchy gag plus some fourth wall breaking. Like if you like that type of stuff, like, you'll love this. So
exactly.
But what else you got, Ash?
Goblin Slayer season 2. I've been waiting so long for that second season.
Okay.
Like, so long. Dude, it took so long that I actually started reading the manga because of that. Because that's how like annoyed I was, just waiting for so long for that thing. Manga's really good too.
Yeah, I haven't watched it or read it, obviously, but
you should definitely check it out. I mean, it does what it's supposed to do, but it's like, if you really want an edgy show to watch, it's
definitely edgy. I've heard so
super edgy.
Yeah, not etchy. We're saying edgy.
Edgy.
Yeah,
I had to listen a few times to confirm.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That's exactly what I said.
You're not gonna see a lot of titties, I don't think. So,
No, you're not gonna see a lot of titties at all.
Gotcha.
God. Yeah. So
So, as someone who's also watched Initial D and is watching MF Ghost, how do you think it's compared to the predecessor so far?
I think so far where we're at, it's doing it justice. Now, I've also read the manga, and the manga is actually pretty short.
Okay.
So
it's good for me. It'll be like a season then.
No, it's gonna be more than that.
Okay.
I feel that they can probably get 2 seasons for sure. They can probably push it to a third season. They
Okay.
can. They can. It's just I hope they keep the pace the way how it is in the manga, because the manga really does like pull some of those races for like a while, and they're pretty good.
Well, I
And
mean,
you get to learn a lot of good stuff too.
yeah, I mean that's Initial D in a freaking nutshell right there. I mean, you'd have races
Exactly.
where like one race was like 7 episodes.
Oh, dude, the from the first season, because I still love watching that specific race, the Impact Blue, the Nissan Seal 80. That one is really good. It's like 3 episodes.
Yeah,
One of the best.
They kill it.
That's one of the best races, and that's where like I've had a waifu episode done like a long time ago, and I brought up one of the characters in Initial D, which is Mako. She's literally the main driver of Seal 80. Like, she's a really phenomenal character, like gorgeous, really good driver, and dude, she literally has the trope of like liking a dude, the whole liking a dude, falling in love with the dude, and then the dude is just so oblivious to her.
oh no.
And I'm like, no,
He's
are
not
you
wrong.
fucking kidding me, dude? And if you Initial D is great too. You should definitely watch it, Taylor, if you've not watched that. So
I
that's
have not
a great.
watched it. So.
It's so good, dude.
But if there is a waifu in there, I'm probably down, bro.
There's a couple of waifus, and then the fucking music, dude. Eurobeats,
dude. I was actually so hyped watching MF Ghost, and you just started hearing some Eurobeat bump, and I was like, yes, fuck yes,
dude. Like, the fucking Eurobeats make all those races so fucking insanely good, dude. Because the animation for like some of the races from like Initial D it doesn't look good sometimes, but the music makes it insanely 100 times better.
Don't stop the music, baby.
Yes, dude. Run in the 90s. So I start hearing that. Dude,
I think that's what Dan was so hyped about when he heard MF Ghost was coming out. He was like, music, man.
Yeah. That's pretty much like all of Initial D is. It's just racing, fucking Takumi essentially getting better, and Eurobeats. That's literally the fucking show. And it's 5 seasons of Initial D.
And that's why I was so hyped for MF Ghost, because like main character is literally trained by the GOAT. Like, we're gonna get some gas. He's driving an 86. I'm like, oh baby, we're fucking in.
So good. Such a good fucking series, man. God. I do hope they do 3 seasons at least. I feel 2 is gonna be great, but 3 is gonna be I miss Initial D.
So I know this is probably a silly question, but if you haven't watched Initial D, can you watch MF Ghost, or like do you need to watch Initial D first?
You can. You can, because it takes place way further into the future. Like they'll mention of things that happened in the past, but you really don't need it because they'll slowly tell you about that.
Yeah, like there's references, but it's not like breaking. It's not going to break the show for you.
No,
gotcha.
Yeah, it's
gotcha.
Now, this is off topic, but something that kind of will break the immersion. Like, if people haven't seen Rebels and you go into watching Ahsoka, the immersion is gonna break for you, because a lot of the references are from the actual TV show Rebels, and it's gonna go over your fucking head if you watch Ahsoka and not watch.
Yeah, and all these Disney fanboy Star Wars fans probably, like, who aren't like super big Star Wars fans, probably did not watch Rebels.
Yep.
So we're in the Star Wars verse now.
Yeah, we're bouncing around.
I had to bring that one up specifically because you did bring up a really good point, Tyler, about freaking MF Ghost. Because like, some people will do that sometimes. They'll just watch something not knowing that there's other stuff about it, and then just think that you have to do that. This one you don't.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
dude.
I haven't really went deep off, into the Star Wars verse. Of course, I watched, the Star Wars movies, but that's about it. So I just didn't know what y'all was referring to. So
Yeah, just referring to Ahsoka essentially as like to MF Ghost.
But dude,
Yeah.
just to finish off our MF Ghost conversation, watching Kanata throw that 4-point
Dude,
rip,
that
it
trip
was
sick.
a little deja vu, if you know what I'm saying.
Tyler, you need to watch Initial D, man, and MF. They're so good.
I love cars. Like I have a sports car in my driveway. Like I live for that shit, dude. But awesome.
Nice.
Let's get on to our actual segment for the day. We've been bullshitting for a while now.
No, it's good content. What are you talking about?
No, I mean that's the point of this freaking
I know,
podcast.
I know.
Bullshit.
I'm just yanking your chain so hard right now.
It's called the bullshit hour. I don't know why we call it the bullshit hour.
Well,
we never do an hour.
That's a perfect name for a segment. That really is.
Dude, literally every
there you go.
Is the bullshit hour.
It's your guys' now. It's yours. There you go.
Oh, we've been calling it that for a while, but then the bullshit hour goes for like right now probably 2 hours. So the bullshit double hour.
But that's the thing, we've been calling it bullshit hour for so long, but there's only been like 2 episodes in our history that has been an hour or shorter. Everything else has been closer to 2 hours. So.
No, they're like an hour and 10, and that's with an intro and an outro, dude.
No way, bro.
lately we've been going on a lot, but it's because we've been doing it a little different with Bass Out of Town.
Yeah.
But awesome. So to get into our actual segment, we're going to talk tropes. We're going to talk tropes we love and tropes you hate. So if you don't know what a trope is, it's basically like a stereotypical thing you're going to see in a lot of different shows. So we got 2 we like, 2 we don't like, maybe more. We'll find out. I'm not sure. We're going to give you some examples and everybody can chime in. So Ash, since you're our guest, we'll let you get going first.
Damn, putting on the spotlight.
No, I'm actually okay. I'm okay with this one because I don't know how you guys are, because I actually really like this one, and that's Tsundere's.
Okay,
I love Tsundere's.
I already know Dan hates it because he hates Toradora, which has one of the best Tsunderes in anime. So
that would be Nino, but you can continue.
Well, I mean,
Nino, quintessential Quintuple.
I wouldn't say the best. I said one of the best.
Yeah, it is one of the best.
Okay,
Taiga is one of the best.
Yeah.
I have Tsunderes as a trope I hate. So let's get into what you like. And then I'll go into what I don't like.
Tsunderes is the tough love freaking ones that will pick on you, all that stuff. But they really, really love you. I mean, to be fair, you kind of want that. That's why I like them a lot. And that kind of helps in some of the motivations of a lot of like characters in some of the animes as well. Like, honestly, in Quintessential Quintuplets, we can take that as an example because Nino is, she is a tough bitch sometimes. She hated the main character, but for a long time. But then throughout the series, she started to see his value, all that stuff, why he's there. She starts to like him, and it's her when she finally confesses is the most soul crushing thing when she's not picked, because she really genuinely was the one that really loved it. Spoiler alerts, everybody. I also was pissed when she was not picked too, but when you read the manga, it's fucking adorable. Like how, like the reasoning behind who Futaro picks. But Nino was a big driving force in a lot of the story in Quintessential Quintuplets. It really is. And sometimes Tsunderes do play a part in that. Granted, you hate it when they start beating the crap out of somebody, freaking, they start yelling at them, fucking blah, 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 and all that stuff.
But I feel like Tsunderes as well give like a really comedical approach as well, most of the time. So
yeah. They usually do, and they usually are just straight up just psychopaths.
Yeah. Like Taiga. But I mean, it's always fun when a tsundere like Taiga or Nino, for example, really has like all that character development and end up like kind of changing their ways, and that's always fun to see. So But damn,
Okay.
what? Do you have any thoughts on this, Dan?
I got a little bit of a rant,
Oh
just
no.
casual. I don't think it's funny, and I think it's really overdone. I hate tsunderes and shonen shows. Like, get that shit out of there. Like,
no.
we get it. Girls can be feisty, and that's fine. But like, actually, write a good character. Like,
You usually don't get it in shonens. That's the shitty part.
yeah. I had another trope I almost put down is the Smurfette trope, where they just throw girls in for no fucking reason. So there's one girl, like you got the Akatsuki, and they're just like, here's Conan. She fucking makes paper dolls. Like, fucking go for it. Like, good. She knows origami. It's like, cool. But like, why is she here? Like, everybody else is badass. But like, why does this character need to be so abusive and manipulative? Like, if there's going to be romance, let the sparks fly. I don't need some woman hitting and abusing the main character the fucking entire time. Skip the horse shit, get to the good stuff.
But Dan, doesn't love supposed to hurt sometimes?
Yeah, doesn't it supposed to hurt?
My wife never hit me, dude. And I love her a lot.
Yeah.
But I'm so glad I'm so glad you brought up in whatever show you're just talking about. Like, I need more MCs to put tsunderes in their fucking place. That is awesome. But like, you got to think about it, right? So imagine switching up the gender roles, right? You've got a male tsundere. That's just not going to fly. Why does it fly one way but not the other? You know, like, I don't like that.
Funny enough, male tsunderes are actually pretty cool characters as well.
I can't really think of one off the top of my head. Do you have any like examples of like male tsunderes?
Dio,
like, kind of popular that I might know.
Dio.
Oh, Dio. Okay.
Dio.
Okay.
Dio's
I've watched
probably
like
the
4
biggest
episodes
one.
of JoJo's, but I also know that he's a wild man. Okay.
Yeah.
I've never thought about a deal like that. And he has definitely abused some poor ladies. He fucking turned one into a vampire.
Then here's the funny part too. You don't have to necessarily see tsunderes as them liking the character. You can also see him as them just straight up just hating the character. He hates the Joestars with like a passion.
This is getting a little erotic right now.
Yeah, right.
Well, there is one of my dislikes. Tyler, what do you got for your first trope you want to talk about?
So I guess we're talking about. So he just brought up tsunderes.
Mhm.
So one of the tropes that I really like is when like you get the I can't think what's shit. Oh, the dere girls.
Yeah.
That's
Please
one of my
define.
favorite tropes. And
fine, dere.
So-
What is that?
so
Dere,
basically,
dere?
like- So basically, this is like the very kind, the sweet. They're usually very happy, cheerful, and their goal is to try to make others happy as well. Is that pretty close to the definition, Ash?
That sounds about right. Yeah.
Okay.
Google
That's-
agrees with you. Would Orihime be like a dere girl?
I don't know.
Because like
She would be-
she wants to make everybody happy, you know, like that's all she wants to
But
do.
she's also sad and worrisome. I feel like
Yeah.
there's another word for her. You know what I
Well,
mean?
yeah, because
So-
like Deres, you can kind of think of them also as like the energetic ones as well. So they're like the Genki girls.
Yeah.
Like
And
they're so sweet all the time, but they're just always caring and loving. But for some reason, they have they have the energy of someone that chugged like 2 monsters at once.
Yeah. So, for example, Dan, off of Toradora, a dere, especially a Genki dere, which is one of my favorite things. You know, when you add the Genki to that as well, which is the more energetic, outgoing deres or whatever, is actually Taiga's best friend. She's a very good example of a dere Genki girl. Do you remember her? I think she's got like pink hair, purple.
She's
hair.
got like 5 lines in the first 2 episodes.
No, she's a very prominent character.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't
so-
remember.
But I know
I
you've
am.
only watched like 2 to 3 episodes of Toradora, so
Yeah, she's Tiger's friend, the red-haired
yeah, the
girl.
redhead.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I forget
She's hilarious.
Minery. That's her
There
name.
you go. Yeah.
So her name is Minery. She is one of my favorite characters. In like the rom com like this aspect, Dere Genki. She's one that I'll bring up. Minery. Another one that I really like is Yatsuba.
I knew you were gonna say Yatsuba.
She's my girl. You know, I was day one Yatsuba. So and also Yui. Like those three from Orgaru. Those three are my
Yeah.
girls. Like
Yep.
that's my top. Like I'm watching them because I'm like that's my top shows because they're in it. So
Gotcha. I'm literally Googling list of characters who fit these definitions right now, and it's helping me understand what's going on here.
Yep.
Like
But
they
that-
brought up for like a Genki character, Mina Ishida from My Hero Academia.
Yeah.
Boom. I got it. I know
Oh.
you're talking now.
if you ever wonder what tropes I like, especially in a shoujo or even like a rom com or anything else, this is it. This is the trope. I like the Dere girls, especially when they're Genki, and usually they're the ones that have. I've mentioned it all the time, but they're the ones that have like the different colored hair. Like I know Dan's, you know.
You give Tyler a girl with purple hair, he's in.
I mean, they're usually Dere Genki,
Damn.
so you know.
Yeah.
Not your
Tyler,
Rishi, though.
Tyler, you said you've watched Clannad, right?
I've watched. I haven't finished it, but I have watched a handful of episodes. I had to put it on the back burner for a few things. So,
well, the moment I heard purple hair, I'm like, the two twins are purple-haired girls.
and it's not necessarily that I like them because their hair color. It's just that usually the Dere, Genki girls have the red, the pink, the purple hairs. They have the exotic hair colors because it makes them stand out and makes them more like bright and bubbly, I guess.
And that's the funny part too, because both of them are twins, but one of them is a tsundere, the other one's a Dere. And that's the funny part. That usually always happens when it comes to twins.
Yeah, and speaking like quintessential quintuplets, like it's been a while since I've seen this, but like it's one of my favorite shows. I need to actually rewatch it sometime or another. But I'm sure that the quintessential quintuplets, all 5 twins, I feel like they probably all got different personality types that fit. Obviously Yatsuba is like the Dere Genki, Nino is the tsundere, but Miku is like the I don't even know what to call her. She's like the quiet, shy one, reserved.
Something Dere.
Yeah,
I think that one's Kudere.
Kudere, yeah, that sounds right. But I just don't know the names of them off the top of my head. I didn't really write down all the Deres, but I feel like they've done a really good job at defining, like making each girl different. I guess you know what I mean. So,
I gotcha.
So you're telling me the author just pulled a list of stereotypical girl tropes and just made them
there's like a shit ton of
crap
list.
ton,
You know what I mean? And he picked 5 of them. But
he's like, "Oh, what's the top 5? Let's do it."
but,
I mean, that kind of was what it is. Each one of them do benefit from that specific type of Dere trope that it is.
But I mean, for me personally, like if you put in like all 5 of these tropes, or like if you put me in a show that has a phenomenal Dere Genki girl, I'm calling that show like a 9, probably off rip, automatically. I'm sorry. Like that's just how I am. I really love that trope. That's one of my like bread and butters, I guess you can say. So
Okay.
Awesome. So Ash, you started us off with one you like. Now give us one you don't like.
One I don't like. Okay. I would kind of say the one I don't like. Man, it's hard to pick not liking a lot of the stuff because I just love the cheesy stuff when it comes to that. But there is one I know for a fact. It's weird because I do like it, but sometimes I just hate it that it always is there. The Chunibyo.
I never understood that one.
Because the Chunibyo stands for is like middle school syndrome. I think that's what the
Yeah.
term what they use it as. It's essentially think about it as like when the kid pretends that he's always like say he's always like a ninja or something like that, but he continues it as he gets older and never grows out of it. That's essentially what a chunibyo kind of is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I kind of knew what it was, but
Yeah.
I never got where that played a good part in anime, if that makes sense.
Okay, yeah. It really kind of doesn't, but unless you like watch like Chunibyo like Loves and Visions, like that,
Yeah.
that works in that specific show because it goes into that specific trope, but it also shows you like the negative connotations of it too. Where it's like because if you show that you never grow up, you can't really enjoy like a lot of other aspects in life, like especially love. Because love is also one of those things where if you're not mature enough to understand it, you're just gonna be immature the entire way. And that's why I like that series. That's the only time where I can actually tolerate it. But in other things, it's like it's just unnecessary. It's like you just have a person pretending to be the edgy kid in your entire group.
Yeah. I mean, I've only seen this a couple times in anime, and like you said, Chunibyo was one of them, the actual anime.
Yeah.
I didn't really like it. I couldn't get into it just because of that whole trope. Because it's centered around that, I guess. I don't know. I just couldn't do it. So
I mean,
so I agree with you. Like I really dislike this too. So
I'm gonna interject right now with the definition.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Bring it.
So basically, a Chunibyo is somebody who has grandiose delusions and uses them to stand out. It comes from second year syndrome. So people in like their second year of middle school.
Yeah. Okay.
And basically they're like, I'm a superhero, I'm a ninja, I'm this. And that's their personality. And I would fucking hate that.
Yeah.
I have in everything that I've seen. Like I said, I haven't seen it in very many shows, but the shows that I have seen it in, like I immediately hate it. Like that's just a bad trope, I feel like. So
you mainly get them in a lot of random slice of life, but you also get them in the shonens that don't deal with powers as well. Like for instance, there is a Chunibyo in freaking I think it's in Food Wars. There is a Chunibyo in Food Wars.
Oh. We
You
actually
just don't really see
Food
them
Wars.
that much. Yeah.
That's coming up, yeah.
Yeah, we're actually doing
Oh,
like
hell
a
yeah.
Food Wars watch. Like we're not gonna watch like too many episodes of it, but for Thanksgiving, we thought it would be really funny to.
We figured
watch it.
food and people orgasming because they eat food because I orgasm when I eat turkeys, so I get it.
Food Wars is so good. Honestly, it's such a good show.
I mean, a great example is Naruto thinking he's going to be the Hokage, like he's just, it's never going to happen.
What?
Well, it actually did, but I mean, in
I'm only saying this to piss Tyler off.
Yeah, no, exactly. It's fine. Oh, God.
Technically, Naruto didn't get to be announced as Hokage. Just letting you know. Technically.
Yeah, because Boruto's not real.
No, because Connor Hamaru was up there taking his spot because his little girl knocked his ass out, Naruto out. So not a lot of people know that, but you're a Naruto fanboy here knows that. So.
Of course you do.
God damn it.
So I'm gonna get into a trope that I love, and it is the classic found family trope. So this is the classic bonds can be stronger than blood. These are like some great examples are the Straw Hats from One Piece. Gurren Lagann. Wow, look at Tyler. You got the Odd Jobs from Gintama.
The Team Urameshi. Damn.
Yeah. Like
those guys, man. Fuck.
It's just such a good trope. Like seeing people come together, regardless of their differences, and form a bond like that is awesome. Mm-hmm. And kind of an oddball one for me would be, the Forgers.
Oh,
my family. Okay. Like that is a ragtag group of misfits right there, and they came together like beautifully. And I just love that trope. It always makes shows fun when you can see people like bond like that,
dude.
And anytime that happens in anime, I'm probably gonna like it.
Azumi Curtis and the Elrics. That's a fucking great one there too. Like,
yeah, like,
dude, fuck.
It just anytime you have a misfit who finds a family, I'm in.
Mm-hmm. Also, March comes in like a lion. That too. Yeah.
I mean,
we talked about that one too.
Maybe Dan would like it. Actually, you
Yeah,
know,
I think you would enjoy that one.
Yeah,
I
it's
love
found
shogi,
family
dude.
in a nutshell. So
I love shogi, so that would work. I don't know how to play shogi, but I fuck with shogi.
I mean, Ray is a like shogi prodigy at 17 years old.
Professional
So,
shogi player. Yep.
yeah.
You can blame Hunter x Hunter for my love of shogi. I'm not gonna cry. Don't
Oh
worry.
wow.
Well, Shikamaru and his dad, you know, taught me a little bit about shogi. So
You haven't gotten there in Hunter x Hunter yet, dude. You don't even know the pain I know.
How
But
far are
yeah.
you in Hunter x Hunter? What the hell?
Yeah.
So
Talk
oh god, here we
Talk
go.
to him.
Here we
Talk
go.
shit.
I'm
How
only like 20 to 30 episodes in.
God
So.
damn it! You're not even in Green Island yet. God damn. Come
No,
on.
I think I'm in the
Oh,
tower
come on.
still. There's like a
Dude.
tower.
Yeah, you're still in the Hunter exam. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they're like all
like-
fighting in the middle of the like
You're
Like-
at the
I
point
don't know.
where we're learning about Nen, right?
probably I don't know. They're
Oh, then
like
he still has like 10 more episodes to go until that's done. Damn it.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
so
you
You
have a
start from the
while.
beginning at this point though, because it's
Yeah.
been a while.
It has.
like so I was watching Hunter x Hunter before I watched One Piece, and
Oh.
I actually like I said I
Damn it.
started watching One Piece. I don't even know why I started watching One Piece, but I did, and then it just took over my life. And this has been like, you know, obviously, you know, 3 to 4 to so maybe even longer. I don't know. COVID and all that shit's got my time perception all screwed up. So, but it's been a while ago before I started One Piece, and I've been caught up for a little while, like years. So I actually like stopped watching Hunter x Hunter just because I was watching One Piece and it took over my life. So,
Shame.
but
You
yeah,
gotta watch Hunter x Hunter, dude. It's so good. But the problem is like you're gonna catch up and you're gonna be like me, like I want more.
Yep.
Yeah.
And
And then if you don't like reading, it's like, well, that's it for me then.
well, not even that. Like
Yeah,
even if
yeah.
you read
I read.
ahead,
It's still not done.
You're gonna hit a freaking
Yeah.
wall anyway. So like
Yeah, wall of text.
yeah. I mean, I'm like, I don't know if I read. I probably do read more than Dan. Honestly, I don't read as much as you, Ash, but I do read a lot of different stuff. So I think Dan only like reads a couple of manga, right?
I read manga if I want to finish a show and I'm annoyed by it.
I have a lot of
And-
manga that I've read that doesn't have shows, and I'm like dead fucking pissed off that a lot of these don't have shows.
Yeah. There's a lot of shows though. Like I really want to read Fire Force, but I love how
Sure.
well the fights are animated, so I don't want to read it because I want to be like surprised when shit happens, you know. So that's one of those tough things with that. But
Understandable.
you know, it's one of those things where like I rather watch fights than read fights, and I guess it makes it tough with shonen because a lot. I don't want to say a lot gets lost, but it's way more gas when you see it, you know, on a TV
Yeah.
screen versus like in a panel.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
mean-
I like keeping the anime only on quite a bit of shows too, though. Honestly, so.
But like, I read Attack on Titan because fuck waiting for that, and I'm so excited to see a lot of people see that ending because they're not ready for it, and I'm gonna laugh.
I don't
I
think a lot
mean-
of people are gonna like it at all.
Yeah, that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think anyone's unless they do an anime original.
Well, so it's
Then-
really interesting with Attack on Titan. So the mangaka has come out. I can't remember his name off the top of my head. He has come out and said that the anime is the purest form of Attack on Titan.
Mm.
And he has made changes in the anime versus the manga because he feels it's a better story. So maybe we just get an entire different ending because he realized he fucked it up. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
You know, and you know, for the fact that he's actually releasing a extra chapter come next April, I mean, it kind of supports that idea. What if we do get another alternate ending and then he puts out the chapter in the manga? You know, because like I said, we're supposed to be getting that extra 18 pages, I think he said.
Yeah, a chapter.
So,
and
yeah.
I'm gonna say it's not bad. It's just not what you expect from that series.
Mhm.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see. I guess we'll see what happens. November 4th, 14th. I'm
I
not
don't
sure.
remember.
It's something like that. Yeah,
Uh,
it's before
It's
December.
coming up. It's coming up. I'm
Yeah.
really excited.
And then obviously we'll see, I guess, what he writes in April and releases with the art book or whatever he's got going on. So, but
Definitely. All right, Tyler, what do you got for one of your next tropes?
we going? What am I going with? One I like or dislike? Is it dislike?
You start with one you like, so let's go with one you dislike.
One I dislike. So one of my big things is, so this is the deal with like romances, shoujo, whatever has this type of stuff in it, relationships in it. So basically, we're in an established relationship, that's, like I said, already been established, and there's no competition. Has a random secondary love or just a random alternative love interest enter the equation randomly halfway through the show or even way down the line just for drama and tension. I absolutely hate that. So
Okay. Is it that you don't like that there's a new character being added, or is it like that you don't like that there's somebody getting way of yo girl getting yo guy?
So I hate it because there's no need for that. The only reason why they're putting it in there is for a couple episodes. There's gonna be the tension / drama, and it's gonna bring along the tropes like the jealousy tropes. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And there's no real reason for them to be there except for they was just like, oh, let's introduce this character and let's immediately have him interject himself into their relationship and cause issues just so we can have a few episodes of drama from that. And it's so out of place and it's so random. Like the person that they usually interject into the relationship, we don't even know nothing about. It was never foreshadowed. It was just, oh, hey, we got a new student here today. Meet this hot guy. And then rumors start flying, and this hot guy is now apparently seeing the chick, and then it causes issues with the chick and the guy who has a healthy, strong relationship and has never showed signs of jealousy or any other thing to that point. And then all of a sudden, oh wait, they're jealous as hell. They're fixing to break up, and like I just hate that. I just absolutely hate this shit.
So what I'm gonna say,
can't think of one.
So what I'm gonna say is this is a problem with your main character because he's got to get his riz up, and he's got to get that shit moving a little quicker. We don't need 3 seasons, dude. Just get in there and get after
it. I mean, I feel like this happens not to that extent. Obviously, I'm over dramatizing this way heavily just because I hate this absolutely. But I mean, I feel like it happens in a lot of romance shows. Now some of them like you're instantly introduced like you got these couples or whatever, but you're introduced to the person, or they actually make it make sense. You know what I mean? They don't just throw them in there randomly. You see what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying on that, yeah, because I can't really think of many shows that have done that. I think the only one that comes to my mind was like Lovely Complex, kind of did something like that.
Yeah, it doesn't really stick out with you because they throw them in there for 1 to 2 episodes and then they're done with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because technically, I think Toradora kind of did something similar to that as well.
Yeah, probably. Like a lot of romance shows do this, and you don't really remember it in the long run because, like I said, they only do it for a certain scene, just like a episode or even a couple episodes. It has no weight to it. Like there's nothing with it. Now, Toradora, obviously, they introduce like Minori, that is introduced, like for example, what is it, like Hana Yori Dango, like they do something like that as well, but the characters are introduced, like they don't just appear out of nowhere. They're like actually introduced and they actually have meaning, with have you seen Hana Yori Dango?
I actually have not.
Okay. No. Well,
I have not either.
yeah, I assume you haven't. But they actually, you know, do something like that where they have a random hot dude that's like a model come in and interject himself into the whole relationship scene, but they don't really have a strong relationship going anyways. But he interjects himself, but it was only because to uh to do a certain thing, and then he kind of moved on. But it was not it wasn't really like pointless, you know what I mean? So it had a reason, it had a purpose, and it fit the show. So
yeah. And I'm gonna say that's not even like an anime thing. Like that is in every fucking sitcom, every
I
single
hate
like
it.
drama.
Yeah.
Like that is like a TV thing.
Yeah, because
And-
like I could not think of an anime that would technically do that, but no, TV in general, yeah, it does that too often. That's annoying as hell.
You think like 90s sitcom, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, my cousin's in town, and the guy walks in, and the crowd starts, woo,
like woo,
yeah, exactly. And then like he starts rizzing on the main character's girl. It's like that's just TV in general, you know? It sucks. Fuck that shit.
No, I get it.
And like to bring up Kimi no Todoke, I'm pretty sure Kimi no Todoke has something like that in it too. But like I said, it only lasted for like part of an episode, or you know. But I'm pretty sure Kimi no Todoke has something like this in it too, where you know obviously they are like established, but then they brought in some random guy, and it was actually. It was actually just rumor based, I think, in Kimi no Todoke. So, but there's no need for that. You know, they're wanting to show the jealous aspect, and they're wanting to show tension. And I just feel like if you're watching a wholesome show, kind of like Kimi no Todoke, I don't want to see that. You know what I mean? I want to see more wholesomeness, more Kimi no Todoke type shit, not jealousy and you know, tension. You know what I mean?
Exactly. No, I get what you mean.
Yeah, that's just one of my biggest dislikes. And most time the characters mean absolutely nothing, and they're so forgettable. But it just ruins my mood when I see something like that happen.
Awesome. Fuck that shit though. It sucks.
Is Ash next, or is Dan
I think
next?
Ash is next. Yeah.
Really?
I did a like one, right? That's what it was last. The fuck.
You did a like and a dislike, so now you go back to like, I guess, right?
Yeah. What do you like?
Okay. We'll do it like then, because this is something that I really do enjoy. I enjoy songs that are the characters' themes, or the song transitions into the scene when like a specific character shows up. Like those types of that trope specifically, I really, really. Because like, and Tyler can agree with me on this one, because you hear it in the background, but it's not very super like it doesn't protrude out in the freaking show. And Origaru, whenever freaking Hachima appears, you hear like a little guitar riff, like you hear that in the background. It's so low that you can hear it, but you know, like this is a very important part where it's gonna be him mostly doing a lot of talking, or he's gonna be doing something specific that's gonna push on whatever the agenda is for the episode.
Okay, so I don't really recall that actually happening in Origaru, because like I said, Origaru was one of the first couple of romances I actually watched. So it's been a while. I've been meaning to go back and watch it, but I never picked up on that really.
Just go on YouTube and watch a couple of clips of like Hachiman doing something. You'll hear in the background, it's like a little guitar riff that happens, but it's always when he appears. It's freaking interesting. I like those little subtle hints in the background that do that.
That's super cool. I'm definitely gonna rewatch it soon, and I'm gonna keep an eye out for it, because that's super interesting. So
yeah, like also one of my favorite ones was when like the scene is about to get insanely crazy, like in Kill la Kill. You hear the "Don't lose your way."
Yes, sir.
You're right, and then it's like, oh shit, it's about
to go down,
because that's when shit's going crazy. Or like in Bleach, when you hear freaking Ichigo's theme, like the that shit just goes and rocks. so hard, man.
I was about to say that like
Yeah.
Shonen does this so good, and I was
Yes.
gonna bring up the time we've talked about it on the podcast before when Aizen just stops Ichigo's theme song and it's just
Yeah.
erased from history. Like that
Yep.
just shows how like
Prominent.
much bearing that
Mhm.
scene had on the show.
Yeah.
And like you've got the scenes with the Straw Hats walking, and you just hear like overtaking in the background. Dun dun dun. It's like, oh shit, it's about
dun,
to
dun,
go
dun.
down, baby. And I love when shows use music like that. It's so good.
Yeah.
Especially when they redid it with Gear 5. That shit was so gas.
It hit
Yeah.
so hard.
Yeah, because the music plays into like the tones of everything, and that's what like kind of enhance your viewing of it. It's not only just you just watching the dialogue happen in between, but you're listening in with everything, because the songs can also play the emotions that it's portraying in the shows. Like in Berserk, when you hear Guts' theme playing, the oh, that's like a very low mellowy sound, but it's supposed to be a very sad thing. It's usually after like he's had an argument or like a misunderstanding, or like he just has to go away and just walk away from a situation. Like those types of things really elevate your viewing a lot in those specific shows. Like the music just plays
100%.
so well in all that stuff, man.
Oh, 100%, dude. And like if a show isn't doing that well, like what are they fucking doing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Awesome.
Who's next?
I guess I'm next. So I'm gonna smash two together because they both involve battling.
Ooh.
And you know, being the shonen boy I am, I love me a good fight scene.
I love it. I just love how that stuck. The Shonen boys.
So I'm gonna start. This is not really from your necessarily, I guess it is kind of your shonen genre, but I'm gonna talk strategy and specifically strategic battles. So you guys know I love the mecha genre. That's your space operas. I love that shit. There's so much strategy brought into it. It's not just boxing. You actually get to understand the mentality of why moves are being made, the strategy behind it. It's overcoming weaknesses. JoJo's does such a good job with this.
Yeah, it does.
They walk you right through it. It's so cool to see. I love seeing people actually exploit weaknesses instead of just punching shit. Banging. Tactics. Like that is it right there. You know, like mindless combat and boxing are fun, but just give me some intelligence behind it, you know? Like
Dude,
that
part
is so needed.
3. Part 3, Darby, the video game one, that one is a really good fucking mind game of an actual like episode of that.
I mean, part 3 is probably my favorite part of JoJo. So like I absolutely love that shit, dude. And then the next battle focused trope I'm gonna get into is the silent battles. When I don't need to hear the ideologies of the villain and the MC in their heads talking, screaming at each other the entire time they're fighting. Like, give me a good old-fashioned sword fight. Give me some boxing. Like, let's focus on the noises of the fight. I don't need to hear all that shit in the background the entire time, you know?
Like the monologues that they go on to inside their heads? Is that what you're talking about?
I don't need that all the time. Like, it's cool every now and then.
Like the Afro Samurai shit?
Afro Samurai did a good job of not having that all the time, though.
Yeah, well, I mean, it had what's his name, the old
the teddy bear guy.
You know what I mean? So
yeah, but like when you watched him versus, I'm gonna call him Cyber Afro Samurai. I don't remember what they called them. No words, all gas.
Oh, yeah,
you know, like a fight that comes to mind is like Gon versus Hisoka. When they fought in the arc that Tyler is stuck in right now because he won't keep watching. There's like 11 minutes of just all you hear is fucking fists going at it.
Okay.
It's fucking awesome.
It's like the final battle of Naruto and Sasuke.
Yeah, literally. It's just you just hear the fight. You don't need words. You understand the premise behind the characters. Like, let's just focus on the fight. I love that stuff. And anytime Mob goes 100%, he's just in there. He's not thinking. He's not talking. He's just fucking going at it. I love that.
I can kind of agree with it, but also disagree with that, because in certain situations, like here's a really good example, because that thing really does fit the silent fighting. in Death Note, when the first time they're trying to track who Kira is, and that was the scene with the potato chip.
Yeah.
When he's writing down names, but the thing is, they were already focused in that area anyways, because they were waiting for him to essentially make a wrong move, but he never really was. But that was the point of that specific mind game. It's like, is he the one that was doing it so early? Was Light the one doing it at the very beginning in like the first 3 episodes? That was the main like silent battle that they had to see if he makes a mistake, and that's when they stopped caring about Kira for a while.
Yeah.
Like that,
So I'm
like
not.
how they did it. It's actually not bad.
Yeah, I'm not saying at all that I dislike it.
Mhm.
I just love when they throw hands and it's just throwing hands,
Mhm.
like
Okay.
one that I think of is in Gintama, you have Kamui versus Hosen. And I can't remember the name of the underground city, whatever it is, like
Okay.
the red light district under the red light district, it's just like prostitutes and shit.
Mhm.
But like when those guys box, there's nothing. It's just fucking boxing. And there's like certain scenes where that's just so gratifying and you can just feel the energy from it. I love that.
Okay.
Okay. I get
And like from Naruto, there's one. I mean, you have like Jinchuriki Naruto. He's like, I don't know, he's like 7 tails or 6 tails or some shit. He's got the skeleton going on him. And he's fighting Pain.
Oh yeah.
And you just hear the hits. You feel the emotion of it, but they don't have to have the classic Naruto like, I've been where you've been before. I understand your pain. I can be your friend. Like, I don't need that in that fight,
But that's because that wasn't truly like Naruto. Like
I
that
know.
was
And that's
like,
why I loved
he
it.
just
I
seen
love-
Hanada, like that's her. That's
Yeah, but
I
you know what
mean,
I'm
it was a
saying?
lot of
Like,
emotion behind that, So
me and Bass have talked about this a lot. I love fighting sound effects in anime. Fire
Yeah.
Force does such a good job with it. Naruto is probably the best at it. And just hearing that for like 6, 7, 8 minutes without that monologue is just really cool to me,
Yeah, I agree. Like that's some of my favorite moments too. Like of Naruto, just when he just goes insane.
You hear the hand signs, like you hear it all, and then you just hear fucking just like fist hitting, blocks, all that shit. I love that.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I'm getting at. I don't dislike the monologues and all that, but I love a good boxing fight without all that shit in the background. Like My Hero Academia is notorious for freaking Midoriya sitting there and being like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this the entire fight. And I'm like, dude, just throw your hands.
I feel like when they're not talking, there's a reason why they're not talking. Like, it's because it's full of emotion and they don't want to take away from that. I feel like
That's exactly it.
So,
and I love that emotion. That's what I love. That's what I'm getting at is I love the emotion of that just silent boxing fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when it's like, top tier, things are going to be bad if this, if the protagonist doesn't win, it's going to be really bad. And like, it's no talking, it's like, I got to win this. I got to focus up, we got to see what's going on. So
yeah. I also don't need the characters screaming out their attack moves every 5 seconds. That helps too.
I got you.
God. Jesus.
All right, Tyler, what do you got?
I guess I'll go with one that I like, I assume. And so I think I did the dislike last time. But one that I really like, I'm gonna go back into like the romances and stuff like that as well. Because that is that's one of my favorite things. I like shonen and stuff as well, but shoujo's where it hits for me. So right now. But one that I really, really love is, especially if it's done right, like it has to be done right, is when the popular character falls in love with the nobody or the underdog. That's where it hits for me. So, I just love that great like underdog story. They're usually really good. Like I said, Hana Yori Dango kind of hits that trope. Kimi no Todoki kind of hits that trope too. Even My Dress Up Darling and Say I Love You, like some of my favorite shows.
Definitely.
So,
dude,
that's where I hit at. If I'm gonna watch if somebody comes up to me and gives me a show like Say I Love You, Kimi no Todoki, Hana Yori Dango, like any of that shit, like we're gonna be best friends, bro. Like, you know, that's my shit. Especially if they got like a, you know, one of the Dare Genki girls in there. Like, damn, like we're Gucci, we're vibing over here. So that's probably gonna be in my top 10. You know what I mean? So,
dude, yeah, because like I get what you mean about that one because that's an amazing actual trope as well. Because there's like a manga that I've read like I'll say like about a year, like a year and a half ago. I've actually talked about this on my show, and I've actually talked about this on another podcast before because it's almost the exact same way how you described that as well, where it's like underdog type of person or just somebody just out of nowhere that's not really relevant, most relevant thing. There was a manga called "The Boy Who Cried Wolf and Told the Lie Again." I think that's what I'm pretty sure that's close to the title. What it was. And it's like we go through the main character is not really a loser. He's just depicted as just somebody that he just looks like he's not a very well liked character. He has this thing where they call it the Yakuza eyes, but he's a really nice guy. It's just everyone around him sees that and they just instantly like poke at him as pretty much being the terrible person.
yeah,
He's been and one of his things is that he's been wanting to talk to a girl the entire time. And that when him wanting to talk to that girl doesn't go the way he wants to, he tries to do something different and he cross dresses to like get to know her better. And the thing is like and from there on out they make a friendship. Then he becomes friends with one of her friends and stuff like that. And the rest is kind of spoilers if I continue talking, but I recommend people actually read that one. It's only like 38 chapters. It's super freaking short. It's a really good read about, like, honestly, it's a really good one. Like, go check it out.
You'll have to
read it.
You'll have to send me like a link or something for that one because especially if it's really short. So
yeah, I'll DM it to you after.
Okay.
But like that one, the way how they handle the way it ends is almost the exact same way of how you like that trope.
And Tyler, you can put it in the podcast discussion section of the Discord, quote unquote. Shameless plug.
Yeah. But another one that I like from last season, I think it was Dangerous in My Heart. It done this too, like this, and I didn't really watch it until like towards the end of the season, and then I started watching it, and like it done this trope, and I was like, damn, this is actually one of my favorite romances of last season because it done this trope. You know what I mean? Like it done it pretty well too. So I don't know if you watched Dangerous in My Heart though, Ash. Have you?
I actually haven't.
Okay.
It's one of those I haven't. I heard it got insanely good. So because I was when I was hearing about it, it was like at a low 7s, like early 6s, and then it skyrocketed out of nowhere.
So the beginning is like not good. Like I was gonna drop it, and then I just kept on watching it, and then it got away from the the edgy jokes and the I want to kill everyone joke, kind of like that, all that good stuff, and it actually got into their relationship building. The most popular beautiful girl with the loner nerdy guy that wants to kill everyone basically, but he only wants to kill them because he actually likes this girl. I don't know. He's got a weird mindset, and like I said, it actually got good. So it actually fit this trope pretty well, and that's why I really enjoyed it. Maybe that's why I really enjoyed it because it has one of my favorite tropes. Even though it doesn't have the Genki, dare in it, but but yeah, that's some of my favorite shit. The Genki Dare plus the popular character falls in love with like the nobody / underdog type deal. So definitely very good. So
You're Hinata's, dude.
Hinata's, what do you mean?
For a lot of Naruto, she was a nobody, dude. Come on.
Naruto always had his eyes on her, kinda. He just too oblivious to he was just
Yeah.
always too oblivious,
He liked
so-
soccer at first. That's why.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say my
Yeah.
boy might need to go watch the original Naruto again because he was
No, I
heavily
mean-
very
Sakura.
different. It's very different. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I understand that, but like he always, seen Hinata, but he never really figured out what she was doing. You know what I mean? He always was chasing Sakura too much. I agree with that. So,
Yeah.
but if he actually paid attention to what Hinata was doing, I feel like that Naruto, maybe could have caught on to what was going on. So,
Fair enough.
because he seen what she was doing, he just didn't understand what she was doing. You know what I mean? So,
I get you.
Being a nervous wreck, but yeah.
but yeah, what about? I guess it's Ash, right? What you got?
Yeah.
Anything else, Ash?
I'll go with one that I hate because I think you guys might be kind of in like half and half on this one. When there's too many, and
I'm sorry, you broke up.
when there's too many final enemies.
Too many final.
So
Can you
think
give
about
us
it.
examples.
So think about
One
it. So
Piece.
think of like how like the end of Naruto. Madara essentially is like the main bad guy, but then we get Amaterasu after that, and then we get a fight at the end with him and Sasuke. So it's like, what was the point of Masala fighting?
Oh, you mean Otsu?
Osu-
No, okay.
Kaguya.
Yeah, and
Ah,
then
yeah.
and then when they just giving you another main enemy, that's
You know why
like
they
on
did
top
that?
of why?
You know why they? So the whole reason why they did that, I have it in my mind. The whole reason why they did that is because it was a major ass pull because nobody could actually come close to beating Madara, and so they had to literally bring a god from the moon down to beat Madara.
I was about to say that they were doing shit against my boy, and Hashirama was nowhere to be found. He was turned back to dust at that point.
No, but like for real though, like I really do believe that on some levels that they literally brought Kaguya down because Madara was just too much of a menace.
Yeah, because I even hate that like in video games as well. Like the entire time we're like, oh yeah, this guy's been my enemy the whole blah blah blah. You get to the end and there's that swerve that happens out of nowhere. It's like, oh, I was technically the one controlling this dude, even though like he was always in the background the whole time. He was always in the background the whole time, but you never it, and then it happens, and then it's like, then what was the point of going? And then they end up being like a bigger bitch than they are. So essentially, they just die almost instantly sometimes. Like those are the ones I kind of hate a lot, and that does happen very often in like shows.
I can definitely agree with that. I mean, it brings up like one of everybody's favorite fucking One Piece theories is that Shanks is actually a bad guy. And like you have Blackbeard, you have the Navy, you have Akainu, you have all that shit, and then Shanks just curveball out of nowhere turns out to be a bad guy. Like shit like that would like if that happens, I'm like, this is fucking dumb.
I think it was one of my crackpot theories, right? It was just Shank was gonna be evil at the end, and I really do. I have a feeling that's gonna happen, bro. So,
I fucking hope not, dude.
I mean,
that'll be awful. That will be terrible writing. So like,
unless Oda does it good, we don't question Oda, bro. We don't question Oda.
I don't question Oda, but like, no, I definitely agree with that. Like, I hate when you have like the, haha, it was me the whole time kind of thing. Like that's just stupid. Like, write better.
Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. So
I just that's always been one that I've always did not enjoy at all because it's you went through the journey, you already knew who was bad, and then you're waiting for him to finish him off, and then it's like, nope, and someone else just takes the dude. The fuck?
Yeah,
really, dude. Oh,
definitely. I mean, it'd be like in JoJo's if there was somebody like besides Dio. Like Dio's been the overarching enemy the entire. I mean, I haven't read past anything yet, so I don't know what goes on after Stone Ocean. But like,
okay,
Dio's been the main bad guy, and he's been the reason all these other enemies are showing up. Like for the most part, like if there was somebody behind Dio, it'd be dumb. Like fuck that. Like I don't know what happens in the later chapters, like Steel Ball and all that, but I'm like, no, if like You can introduce other enemies, that's fine, but don't make them behind Dio the whole time, you know?
Yeah, exactly. That's like the one thing I just would hate if they actually end up.
I feel like
So you're good.
Pokemon did
Just
that
keep
in a
reading.
game. I feel like Pokemon did that in a game one time, and I was like, "Fuck this! This is dumb."
I would kind of say no, not really. No, they say the same.
Yeah, no, I feel like in one of the
Yeah.
games there was just like a guy who came out of nowhere, and he's like, "Oh, I've been a bad guy the whole time." It's like, "Fuck you, dude!
Yeah.
You gave me a Master Ball or some shit. Why are you a bad guy?"
Damn. Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
But yeah.
So I guess
It's-
I'll go with my last dislike. And this is a classic for me. You guys have heard it before and you will hear it again. I hate shitty isekai, boring main characters who get all the bitches.
the bland bitch protagonist.
God,
Black
there's so
hair.
many of them.
No riz, bitches galore. Shit ain't fair. And also, why are they all so overpowered? This is bullshit, man. Kirito, you suck.
Yeah. He's one of the worst ones.
And on a total side note, can isekai names please get better? I'm tired of reading a 3-paragraph sentence to talk about a show.
No, it's not gonna happen, bro. I'm sorry.
My mom and my sister and I got transported to another world where we cook dinner and fight goblins, and my mom suddenly got hot and I had a crush on her. Like, that is an isekai title right there.
Is it really?
Probably. I don't fucking know.
It could be.
I thought you was being a dead ass.
It sounds like one. Am I wrong?
I'll let the city probably. I have one that actually you might enjoy. That will probably have you second guessing that specific trope that you hate. Have you seen Cautious Hero?
No.
You should definitely watch that one. Cautious Hero is actually really funny, and it does the overpowered character very, very well.
Overpowered isn't an issue. It's more.
No, but it's but yeah, a lot of
men.
He is very black haired as well, but he is not bland because his character is he's overly cautious about everything. You already know what he is by the title of the show, so you're not going to expect out of nowhere him not doing that. Just watch the first 3 episodes. It's fucking fun.
I feel like that's a strategic anime too. Is what it sounds
not
like.
Strategic at all.
Oh, okay.
It's not. Trust me, you guys should definitely at least watch the first 3 episodes because it's not strategic, but overpowered. He is kind of bland, but it works with his character type. His specific character type works with it, and it's hilarious.
Gotcha.
I mean, I don't really have that big of an issue compared to Dan with that because I really do like my isekais, and even if they're I like them, I really like them if they're really good, Slime Reincarnate, that's one of my top shows, because it does it well, but I guess I don't really have that big of an issue with it. You know what I mean? I've watched so many of them.
Yeah, I feel like it's just lazy writing.
Yeah,
pretty much. And plus, there's some other ones that there are other isekais out there that are actually not involved, super powerful. Like Ascendance of a Bookworm is actually really good.
Yeah,
that one's a pretty interesting one to actually watch. It's the freaking Villainess. That one's freaking hilarious. That one's good. She's not overpowered. It's just the fact that her brain just thinks so different types of outcomes that she doesn't just want to die.
So
because that's what supposedly happens at the end of her game.
I've always wanted to get into the Villainess series, but I see there's so many, Villainess, whatever. I fell in love with the Villainess. Is there an entry point, or is it all the seasons different?
They're all very different. Just start with that one specifically. That one's really good.
So it doesn't matter if I've never seen any other Villainous. I can just literally pick out any of the Villainous seasons and be like, oh, I'm watching that one, and it's perfectly fine, right?
Well, was My Life as a Villainess, that one specifically, you got to watch it from. But there's other Otome game actual isekais that are there too. Those are all very different, but they all follow almost the exact same tropes. And
so they're not all in the same thing. I always thought they was all kind of connected. You know what I mean?
No, they're not.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Tyler. What do you got for
your
last one?
I guess I'll give it my last one. It is the one that I really dislike as well, and that is the sibling complex. Usually, sister complexes.
Yep.
Yeah, I really, 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 really dislike this one. You got it from like one of the top ones I can think of is like I'm not sure how to say his name correctly.
Gouch?
Is that how you say it? From Black Clover? Yeah.
Yeah.
Black Clover. Okay. Yeah.
I'm pretty sure like he literally gets nosebleeds and almost dies, I think, from looking at his young sister's picture. Like that's too much.
Trope. I hate this trope so much. Not even that, just like when people are obsessed with their sibling, it's fucking weird, dude.
Yeah, and another one that I like, I'll hit on too. Ash has probably seen this one. Maybe is a couple of cuckoos.
Yeah.
So like I kind of enjoy this show, but Sachi, like really, makes me question the outcome of this show. Like I feel like that I don't need to keep watching it because I'm gonna get so disappointed in the end when Sachi becomes a love interest. You know, and it's probably happening. It's probably going to happen, honestly. But I haven't looked it up, and I haven't finished a couple of cuckoos because of this. Because I'm like, I really like this show, kind of from the romance aspects, but I also hate that it's got a sister complex going on in it that could be escalated, I guess you can say.
No, I understand what you mean. Well, I mean, there are some that take that specific trope but make it into part of comedy, like Spy Family with Yuri, and how he has a sister complex with Yor.
Yeah.
It's funny in that aspect because, like, it's not an overbearing thing because you know it's pure comedy, but there are some shows that take it into an aspect where this is legitimately a real thing.
Definitely.
Yeah, and I can see where like a lot of people don't like it, but there are some aspects where they make it to a comedy of it, and it actually is bearable in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, I can deal with that type. Mm-hmm. I know what you're talking about. I watch Spy Family as well, but when you start getting like nosebleeds and you start like like it gets too much sometimes, especially if you think that there's possibilities of a romantic relationship with the sisters, which is a thing usually in Japanese cartoons or whatever. So
yeah,
because there's one that I actually have seen, and I actually really like this series. A lot of people don't like it, but it does have heavy siscon stuff in it. It's The Irregular and Magic High. It's a pretty interesting show. If it didn't have that little aspect of it, the show's actually not a bad show. It's actually a really interesting way because they use magic in form of a science instead of it being actual spells and stuff like that. They're calculating these things. They have to actually calibrate a lot of the stuff to do. So it's interesting, but I'm going to tell you right now, it will throw you away from the series. A lot of the stuff is really good in it. They have a bunch of cool stuff that happens in the show, but if you really don't like that, it's gonna throw you away. I still say give it the 3-episode rule, but it will throw you away. I'm telling you right now.
We'll see about it.
It sounds like I'm gonna give it the no episode.
I'm not telling you not to watch it, but you should actually still watch it just anyways. Just to at least have something of that thing so you know what you can probably end up avoiding later on.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's us going through a bunch of tropes there, guys. What do you think?
Yeah.
It was a pretty strange seeing the type of stuff we actually do love and hate.
yeah, definitely a wide variety of tropes from these 3 Degens right here.
Yeah. You can tell that I lean. You can tell I lean heavily towards the shoujo and side of stuff. So.
Awesome, guys. We really hope you enjoyed this week's Anime Degens Bullshit Hour. We had Ash with the Simping from Senpai podcast. Ash, when do you guys release? Is it weekly?
It's bi-weekly. We usually release. We haven't put out an episode in like almost a month, unfortunately, because time constraints kind of suck. It's mainly me because I'm usually the one that has to plan. I usually plan all of these. But I have been so busy where like I just don't want to record anything in it, like honestly. But I'm glad you guys actually called me up to come on because I actually was looking forward to this.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, guys, if you want to check out the Simping for Senpai podcast, we will link it in the description and we'll also shout it out on our Discord. Make sure to rate the podcast on your favorite podcast streaming platform, whether that's Spotify or Apple or your mom's radio. I don't know what you listen to us on. If there's any topics you guys want us to talk about, make sure to throw it in the Discord. We have a section for suggestions. And we'll catch you guys next week for the rundown as well. We're switching up the order. So we're going to be doing a spooky Degens podcast on Monday for Halloween. Tuesday
for Halloween. Yeah.
Tuesday. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. We're recording, Yeah.
It's going to release at midnight. So Monday, Tuesday, whatever your deal is, good for you. I don't know where you guys are in the world. So make sure to check that out. We're going to be watching Perfect Blue. So check that out beforehand if you want to listen to the discussion. And we're going to be talking about some of our favorite scary anime characters. All right, guys. Appreciate you listening. And we'll catch you next week. Peace.
Later.
Peace.